franchise, a uniform which has largely defined the American pastime. From Babe Ruth and the first World Championship in 1921 to last year's Yankee Doodle Dandies. The New York Yankees, winners of 23 World Championships and in the playoff hunt again. This afternoon, for the first time in the second half of the 20th century, the New York Yankees have come to Philadelphia to take on the Yankees next. And hi again, everybody, with Kent DeColvey. I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome to Phillies baseball. Teak, Yankees, world champions, huge crowd, Labor Day. It's got to make us of a great afternoon.
Well, Larry, I'll tell you what a great way to put a cap on a beautiful Labor Day weekend here in Philadelphia. You got the Phillies, one of the hotter teams in baseball in the month of August, against the defending champion New York Yankees. Doesn't get any better than that. In fact, probably the only way you can make it better than that is to come up with a great pitching matchup, and indeed, we've even got that this afternoon.
Yeah, some of the intrigue revolves around Hideki Irabu, who we'll see this afternoon. Irabu, much ballyhooed from the Far East, has not lived up to expectations. He's been the weakest link in Torrey's starting rotation and has been bothered in his 7 starts by the long ball. Irabu, as a New York Yankee, the ERA over 17, the numbers not quite where the Yankees would have liked.
Well, the Yankees thought when they got Irabu, they were going to get the most dominant pitcher in the American League right off the get-go. It hasn't happened that way for him, and that's understandable. See, just averaging 5 innings a game, giving up over 7, but his mates have supported him with over 8 runs a game. That explains why he has a 4-2 record. Hideki Irabu will be interesting to watch this afternoon.
Well, if Curt Schilling had been getting 8 runs per start, he'd be a 20-plus game winner already in the National League. Schilling has been waiting since 1990, when he was an Orioles reliever, to get that first start against the New York Yankees. It is coming up next. Curt Schilling looking for win number 14 against Hideki Irabu. As the boss is in the house, come back for lineups when we return to Veterans Stadium in a moment. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFX, it's where you're going. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on.
We could not deny the RAV4 our top ranking.
The RAV4 breaks expected molds.
The RAV4 rides a great deal better than many a sedan.
Handling in both RAV4 models is excellent.
The all-new RAV4 recreational activity vehicle starts at only $15,118. Maybe we should start calling it the Rave 4.
Driving it is great fun.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement, I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf ball's around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Labidochromis, caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
See, what else do I have on this?
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Why does Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile have the most advanced digital network on the East Coast? So your cell phone will work here. And out here. It's perfectly clear here. In fact, to ensure that you'll have enhanced voice clarity and privacy, we built a digital network of monumental proportions. After all, a cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
Deep in the forest under railroad trees is a big blue bear and his family. They laugh all together, they play all together, they sing and dance and stay all together. So if you're
Midas, Auto Systems experts.
The largest Labor Day crowd in the history of Phillies baseball in the house this afternoon, as the Phils are about to take on the New York Yankees in a regular season game. Here's the way the Yankees will line up to face Curt Schilling, Derek Jeter, Wade Boggs, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez in his 41 home runs, Paul O'Neill, Chad Curtis, Joe Girardi, Ray Sanchez, and Hideki Irabu.
Defensively for the Phillies, Rico Bronya is at first, Mickey Morandini at second, Kevin Stocker's a shortstop, Scott Rowland at third. Billy McMillan is in left field, Schmidre Cummings in center, Tony Barron is the right fielder, Mike Lieberthal behind the plate, and on the mound, 30-year-old right-hander Curt Schilling. Schill making his 30th start of the year for the Phillies, has a 13-10 record with a very fine 292 earned run average. Curt leads the National League in strikeouts with 264, and those 264 also tie him with Randy Johnson for the Major League lead. Needs just 4 strikeouts today to tie Jim Bunning for 6th on the Phillies all-time strikeout list. Way back when, between 1988 and 1990, when Curt was pitching for Baltimore, he faced the Orioles 4 times during that period of time. No wins, 1 loss, and a 7.71 earned run average. I think I said Baltimore. Those were his numbers against the Yankees. He had a no decision last Wednesday against the Padres in the Phillies 7-6 win. Pitched 6 innings in that ball game, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned. Walked a pair and struck out 10. The 15th time this year he's gone double-digit in strikeouts, and also has been double-digit strikeout games in 8 of his last 10 starts.
Not bad. Curt Schilling pumped and ready.
Speaking of pumped and ready, what about the crowd here at the vet? I mean to tell you that during the introductions, as much noise as I've heard all year long.
Derek Jeter swinging first pitch. Be interested to see the crowd noise breakdown, Teague. Maybe about 2/3, 1/3 Philly fans, Yankee fans, although there's a lot of navy blue. Of course, the Yankee fans were those that were here early, making the early noise. Check swing, strike 2 on the foul tip.
Just an electric atmosphere at Veterans Stadium this afternoon, as we mentioned, putting a cap on a wonderful Labor Day weekend. What a great way to do it. Exciting ball game, the Phillies and the world champion New York Yankees.
It's an 0-2 coming for Jeter. Lieberthal away, got it there, struck him out looking. Strikeout number 265 for Schilling, and a lot of them have looked just like this, Teague.
Yeah, working the outside part of the plate on Derek Jeter, 0-2. One thing about Schilling, he's aggressive. He goes at hitters. American League pitchers not nearly as aggressive, so it'll be an adjustment for the American League hitters and the Yankees this afternoon to adjust to the very aggressive style of Curt Schilling.
265 now, 10 ahead of Martinez for the National League lead. Now facing Wade Boggs. Boggs making his 4th consecutive start at third base. Former Philly Charlie Hayes has had a viral infection of the throat, so Boggs, who had not been playing on an everyday basis, playing third for the 4th straight day. Schill's pouring him over. Fastball at 95 miles an hour. As Boggs stands in, he's got 2,780 lifetime hits, 39th on the all-time list. High ball. It's a National League umpiring crew. Gary Darling behind home plate, Jim Quick, young Kerwin Danley, and Dana DeMuth along the baselines. Schilling stretches with the 1-2. I think he's ready to go today.
7 pitches, 6 strikes, 2 strikeouts, both looking. Wade Boggs painted right knee high on the outside corner. Take a seat, Mr. Boggs.
Take a left.
So, this guy's coming at me.
He'll face Bernie Williams, the hottest Yankee. Williams hit .395 in the just completed month of August. Switch hitter, that's .324 from the left side, where he'll face Schilling.
2 strikeouts early for Schilling. 7 pitches, all fastballs to this point. There's the first breaking ball, misses.
Yankees and Martinez, the 2 hottest Yankees over the last 10 days. Martinez waits on deck. Fastball to Stocker's left, gloves and throws, and a 1-2-3 first for Curt Schilling. Phillies bat against Hideki Irabu when we come back to Veterans Stadium in a moment.
We've got kids. We're constantly on the go.
We want the safest minivan out there.
The
'98 Ford Windstar, the only minivan in its class with a 5-star safety rating. Now, with $1,500 cash back, you can drive a Windstar for only $254 a month.
That's a small price to pay to keep our family safe.
Plus, Windstar is even easier to get into and out of.
No more pushing, no more shoving, and everybody's happy.
Ford Windstar, $254 a month, but only until September 3rd during Ford's factory-authorized clearance at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
Get ready to roll with the Dice Man this fall on UPN.
Oh! Get with the program, eh?
Hits coming to UPN.
The Phillies say thank you in a day full of prizes and surprises. It's Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 28th at 1:35, when the Phillies play the Florida Marlins with Darren Dalton. Call 463-1000.
Here's a look at the Phillies lineup for this afternoon. Midre Cummings, Mickey Morandini, Scott Rowland, Rico Bronya, Mike Lieberthal, Billy McMillan, Tony Barrett named a AAA All-Star today, Kevin Stocker, and Curt Schilling.
Let's take a look at the New York Yankee defense this afternoon. They have Tino Martinez at first, former Cub Ray Sanchez is the second baseman, Derek Jeter is the shortstop, the veteran Wade Boggs at third, Chad Curtis is in left, Bernie Williams in center, Paul O'Neill the right fielder, Joe Girardi, former member of the Chicago Cubs and Colorado Rockies, behind the plate, and on the mound 6'4", 240-pound right-hander Hideki Irabu. Irabu making his 8th start of the year for the Yankees, 4-2 with a 7.07 earned run average. Irabu's lived up to his reputation as a strikeout pitcher. He struck out 32 and 35 and 2/3 innings, but he's also had some problems along the way. A lot of base hits, 46 of them, and 11 long balls. So Irabu not quite what the Yankees thought he was going to be, although he still is 4-2.
Strike one to Midre Cummings. Cummings at 272. As a Philly hitting at 344. Off speed pitch. That's that curveball?
Yeah, he's got a curveball that he throws, Larry. It's a big off-speed breaking curveball. Primarily, though, he's a fastball split-finger type pitcher. You see the big looping curveball right there by Irabu as he gets Cummings swinging.
Way out front. 0-2 from Irabu. Fastball. Broken bat too high for the Jeter. Round number one. Yeah, Irabu's been fascinating to watch. All the hype as he came over. Wound up being sent back down to the minor leagues and has had some issues of composure, where if he doesn't like the mound or the circumstances around him, kind of an un-Far Eastern approach.
Well, you got to remember now, this is a dramatic change for Irabu in just a few months, coming from Japan over here to pitch in the major leagues. So, yeah, things are not going to be exactly the way he was used to him being in Japan. And it's going to take a little while for him to make that adjustment. But the New York Yankees think that he is a very, very fine talent and will eventually become a very strong major league pitcher.
To Mickey Morandini. 1-1. Interesting, Teague, the Yankees have loved Morandini. Almost every rumor through the course of the summer included Mickey going to the Yankees. They eventually picked up Sanchez to play second. Up the middle and through a base hit. So Morandini, with a career-high 142 base hits, is a one-out base runner. Also the Phillies' stolen base leader, and Irabu looks like you can run against him.
Let's take a look at our Nissan scouting report this afternoon on that Hideki Irabu. Uses basically three pitchers, Larry, a fastball, a split finger, and a curveball. Now the fastball, he's had a little bit of a problem with it. The Yankee people tell me he's liable to throw anywhere from 89 to 98, and it's not, on a given day he's throwing hard, another day he's throwing soft. It'll go from, pitch to pitch during the ball game. Also the split finger fastball, as we mentioned, the curveball, his third pitch. There's been some concern about Irabu's composure. He has very exaggerated emotions on the mound, and sometimes can take himself out of a ball game just by things that happen around him. Just an average fielder. So if the Phillies get a chance sometime, might want to drop a couple bunts down and see if Irabu gets rattled.
Base hit right field, Scott Rowland. Morandini picked it up a little bit late. O'Neill was deep, so Mickey stops at second. Two on, one out on solid singles by Morandini and Rowland.
Pitch down and in. Rowland slashes it into right field. Mickey froze for just a second. Line drive into right field. Wanted to make sure that it got over the infield. Sharply as it was hit. Mickey not going to go to third. Paul O'Neill with one of the strongest right field arms in the American League. So keep that in mind as the afternoon goes on. O'Neill is not the guy that you want to run on in a given situation.
With Morandini's base hit, Irabu is now giving up base hits to the tune of 340 against left-hand hitting, like Rico Brogna. Curve away. 1-0. Of course, this is as big as it gets for the Phillies, where the Yankees leave here for a showdown with Baltimore in a few days. Out front of the curveball. So as intriguing as it is, and the big crowd and the Labor Day festivities, it's just kind of a stop along the road for the Yankees.
Well, this is a game that the Phillies have been focusing on for a while. They've been looking forward to a chance to play the defending world champions. Of course, as you mentioned, the New York Yankees just one day at a time trying to keep themselves in that American League race. They have bigger fish to fry, so they say.
Their skipper made a comment yesterday, Joe Torre, that they really didn't think that they could catch the Orioles 6.5 games back. So they were basically playing for the wild card. Now you got 3 with the Phils, then 4 with the Orioles. So there was some media response to that, as if to say Torre was a bit out of line. In the dirt, swing and a miss. Brogna will head for first base, saying, is it occupied, not occupied, am I here, am I not? Rowland moved up, Morandini moved up, but Rico still asking questions.
I think Rico thought that he made contact with that pitch. Obviously, first base is occupied, so he cannot run on a missed strike 3. The question right now is, did Rico indeed foul the ball off?
No.
Looked like the ball hit off the top of home plate as it went by Brogna. That might have been the sound that Rico heard, was the ball hitting the plate. See Rico immediately turning around to Gary Darling, thinking that he fouled that ball off. Here with Darling, I think that was a swing and a miss. Strike 3, Brogna down. The runners do move up on the wild pitch by Irabu.
His first strikeout. First base open on the strikeout wild pitch. Morandini to third and Rowland to second. And Mike Lieberthal, who's batting .319 post All-Star break, looking for a clutch 2-out base hit. Irabu steps off. Michael, with 67 RBIs in the second half of the season, has hit extraordinarily well with men in scoring position. Curve up.
And the word we got that Irabu was basically a high fastball splitter pitcher and would use the curveball on occasion just to kind of set you off of it. Has thrown quite a few of them, especially first pitch early in this ball game. He has had some problems this year so far against the American League hitters on first pitch base hits.
Ripped to left field and a base hit. Rowland's going to be waved around, and Curtis will concede the run. A 2-run, 2-out single, Mike Lieberthal.
Just what the faithful here at the vet were looking for, some early action, early reason to cheer, and they get it from Mike Lieberthal as he lines this 1-ball, no-strike sinking fastball right over the head of Derek Jeter into left field. Chad Curtis on top of it pretty quickly, but did not make a throw to home plate on Scott Rowland. Of course, with 2 outs, Rowland able to move on contact, comes in standing. Phillies up 2-0. Mike Lieberthal plates the first 2 of this game.
RBIs number 68 and 69 in this coming-of-age season for Mike Lieberthal. He's on first for young Billy McMillan. Foul tip hung on to by Girardi. Of course, Girardi is a National League catcher in his past. So he'd have a lot of input with hitters like Rania Morandini, etc., you'd imagine. But the Phillies have such a young lineup anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys in the Phillies lineup, even Girardi, who just moved to the Yankees not too long ago, hasn't seen.
Inside corner, says Gary Darling. It's 0-2.
Girardi, of course, started his career with the Chicago Cubs and then moved on to the Colorado Rockies. So very familiar with veteran National League hitters, but not quite so familiar with the new breed Phillies.
Off the hands and fouled back. That's the boss, George Steinbrenner. As much as anyone, the reason Hideki Irabu was on the mound for the Yankees at all, and today specifically.
Yeah, George's wallet's just a little bit lighter to make Irabu his starting pitcher this afternoon. Many, many yen were spent to bring Irabu across the pond.
Off speed, swing and a miss. So Irabu shows a good slow curveball, gets a couple of strikeouts, but Mike Lieberthal's 2-out, 2-run single gives the Phillies a 2-0 lead.
Let's go back to the situation of Prohibition. Prohibition was an extremely difficult period for the Bush family. That period almost broke the company. Grandfather had a couple of choices. So he went into the yeast business, he went into the soft drink business, he went into the making of carriages, he went into the making of cabinets. When Prohibition finally came to an end, my father wanted to do something for his father. He did so by presenting him with an 8-horse hitch, the Clydesdales. The Clydesdales were taken down Pennsylvania Avenue, where the first case of beer was delivered to then-President Roosevelt. The Clydesdales today are a symbol of that quality, of that tradition, of that excellence that is the hallmark of Budweiser, that is the hallmark of Anheuser-Busch.
In this great world, I go just where I please.
When you buy tires from Sears, if you find a lower price, we'll give you double the difference back.
And I say, roll like a wheel, it's time to roll.
Sears Auto Center, we keep you rolling.
Skipper Terry Francona and his Phillies may not have been thrilled to see the calendar page turn. Phillies have one of the best Augusts on record. Their best month since '95. They were 17-10. The team batting average way up. Team earned run average down 2 runs per ball game. Schilling, of course, could have been 5-0. And Cummings had a red-hot month. So Terry said that he used to just hope the team would be competitive. Now they come to the ballpark expecting to win. A difference in philosophy and in feel.
Yeah, it's a ball club that's playing with a lot more confidence right now, Larry, and I think it's part of the growing processes that the Phillies are going through this year, just learning, who they are, what they're doing, and how they're going to go about it. The ball club, obviously, right now, very confident in the way they're playing, and it shows in those August numbers.
Here's Tino Martinez with 41 home runs, a career-high 125 runs batted in. Martinez, 41 home runs, is the most by a Yankee since 1980, when some kid out of Cheltenham popped 41. Reginald Martinez Jackson trails Griffey by 3 with a full month to play.
They're talking about how well the Phillies are playing recently, and I think it's good that they play the Yankees right now during this period of time, because if you remember back at the end of June when the Phillies were probably playing the worst baseball that they've played all year long, that they ran into that stretch at the worst point in time where they were playing the Braves, the Marlins, the Orioles. They hit interleague play at that point in time, so they played some tough teams and really got shellacked. Well, now that they're playing well, it's good to play a good ball club and see exactly how they fare now. The old saying in baseball is you're never as bad as you are when you're in a bad streak, and you're never as good as you are in a good streak. But a good test for the Phillies right now to play a very high caliber ball club when they are playing well. See how they stack up.
Swing and a miss by Schilling, who challenges Martinez with a 3-2 fastball and puts him away.
Strikeout number 3 for Schill. High heat on the outside part of the plate. Martinez not able to lay off. Tino Martinez who likes to pull the baseball. Very tardy on that fastball by Curt Schilling as he blew it away.
Schilling now with 267 strikeouts on the season. His next strikeout will tie him for the most ever by a Phillies right-hander. Jim Bunning had 268. Paul O'Neill has seen Schilling lots before with limited success. 1 for 9 with a walk and a strikeout.
Of course, O'Neill, formerly a member of the Cincinnati Reds for such a long time before he moved to the Yankees. So those numbers, Schilling's numbers against the Yankees from 88 to 90. Well, this is a little different Curt Schilling that pitched against the Yankees. Of course, this is a different Yankee ball club, too. Back then, that club was led by Don Mattingly, a guy who just had his number retired yesterday.
Off speed by Schilling.
Ceremonies at the stadium yesterday. Mattingly's number retired.
Are there any numbers left?
Well, they got a couple left. Everybody, as far as I know, everybody on the field still has a number, so.
Not too many single digits, though. That's
no, the single digits go fast in New York.
Paul O'Neill with a lifetime Yankee batting average of .317 still works that back end of the batter's box, takes a strike. He's 5th on the all-time Yankees batting average list. And when you're on those lists with the Yankees, you're behind Ruth, Gehrig, Combs, and DiMaggio.
Hey, you look at Paul O'Neill's stance. He gets about as far back, away from the plate, and deep in the box as he can. Wants to get those arms extended.
Outside edge. O'Neill doesn't like it and has something to say to Gary Darling. Strikeout number 4. And George is go get me that guy.
Well, the raging debate is, is the National League strike zone wider than the American League strike zone? American League clubs getting introduced to that National League strike zone this year through interleague play, and apparently the hitter's not real happy with the fact that the National League zone appears to be a little wider than the American League one.
Chad Curtis swinging first pitch, which might not be a bad idea, fouls it to the upper deck. Curtis, late of the Cleveland Indians, acquired by New York in the early part of June, has hit .292 since coming over to the Yankees, .283 overall.
Schilling now with 4 strikeouts in the first 5 outs, 3 of those 4 looking.
Long and deep, hooking foul down the left field line, 0-2. Girardi has emerged as the everyday catcher for the Yankees, has now started 67 of the last 81 ball games. So he is your everyday catcher in New York. And 2 strikes and 2 outs. The crowd getting into it again.
Now, this is the kind of stuff that's usually reserved for later on in the ball game, but here in the bottom of the second now with 2 strikes on Curtis, the crowd getting involved, looking for strikeout number 5 on the afternoon.
Outside corner, got him looking. And Curt Schilling notches another for his gun belt. The General moves up on the all-time Phillies strikeout list as he once more paints the outside corner. Phil's lead 2-0 through 1.5.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone.
He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2. Swing and a miss.
Ground ball. Great play. Stocker. Can he get him? He got him.
He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phil's win.
Hits the deep right field. It's gone.
So, you want to see my Discover Card statement? I am very, very prissy.
Put up or shut up!
I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Around this time every year, the guys at Midas get ready for their brake sale, where you'll save 25% on any brake shoes and pads, guaranteed for as long as you own your car. The brake sale at Midas.
Leave it to the experts at Midas to give you the brake you deserve. Right now, you'll get 25% off brake shoes and pads. And with your 25% off, you'll also get a free oil change, a free lube, and a free filter. But you better step on it. This offer ends soon.
A bit of history right here for Curt Schilling, Kent Colby.
Yeah, Curt Schilling was strikeout number 5 on the afternoon. That puts him ahead of Jim Bunning, the slider right on the outside corner. Now the all-time right-handed strikeout leader in Philadelphia Philly history is Curt Schilling. See that little sheet on the wall behind Curt? Those are notes on the New York Yankee hitters. A lot of pitchers would just kind of go along and say, well, it's an interleague game, it's one time, I'll just go out and do my best and see what happens. Not Schill. He's been doing some research on these Yankee hitters and got a plan coming into this afternoon.
The leader in strikeout per 9 innings. Tony Barron swings through. Barron was named a postseason All-Star at the AAA level as the AAA season ended. Phils will add a couple players tomorrow. Down at the plate, we'll see Desi Relaford and catcher Bobby Estalella.
Yeah, Philly's really not going to call up a whole lot of players in September. The players that they have, the young, inexperienced major league players, are already here. They've been here all year long, so a chance to let them play that final 6th month of the season. That is a big month for a player who hasn't done it before.
The other way to Martinez, who does it himself for out number 1. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Phillies basically now have 6 starting pitchers with Green and Grace. So to add a Carlton Lower, he might have gotten a start in a doubleheader coming along, but the Carl Lower threw a ton of innings and will not be here. Francona and Thomas did not want to add a player who might have only gotten a couple of appearances as Kevin Stucker lines a base hit to center field. He's a 1-out base runner for Curt Schilling. He said a lot of first pitch swinging has hurt Irabu, and Stocker's among them now.
Yeah, Stocker got this fastball right down the middle. First pitch lines it into right field. Gives Schill a chance to come up to the plate. Sacrificing along. One little note, Larry, on that ground ball to first base by Tony Barron. Just put this in the back of your mind for later on. Irabu did not break off of the mound, was very late. Only took about 2 steps over toward first base. Of course, it wasn't a problem for Martinez because he was right next to the bag when he made the catch, but we were always taught the first move on any ball to the right side, get over and cover first base. Irabu did not.
Schilling shows bunt. It's in the air, but it's unplayable for Girardi. Strike 1.
Curt so far this year has sacrificed 9 times successfully. He's done a nice job in that department of helping himself along. See John Vukovic down at third base flashing the signs. There they are. 9 sacrifice bunts for Curt, looking for number 10.
Been a hot hitter, hitting .313 in his last 10 starts.
Of course, we've also seen with Schilling that it doesn't always mean there's no sacrifice. He has pulled the bat back and done a lot of slug bunting this year also.
Boggs is up well in front of the bag at third. Martinez holding his man at first. Stocker with 10 steals on the year. Pitch out. No one there to cover as Martinez broke in, so Stocker able to scamper back. That man waited 4,000 major league games plus to win a world championship. More than 2,000 as a player, more than 2,000 as a manager. Schilling bunts it foul. In fact, when you talk about Joe Torre, it was the highest total for someone reaching the World Series since 1903. 4,268 games he was involved in. before reaching the World Series. Kid out of Brooklyn and finally got to the series as the manager of the Yankees. Stocker goes, fouled back. So Schilling becomes Irabu's third strikeout victim, and Stocker will turn around and head back to first base.
When you got a guy in a hole and you're trying to make him bunt, you try to make him bunt the high fastball. Irabu runs this ball up and into Schilling, not able to get the ball on the ground as Stocker was on the move from first base with 2 strikes on Curt. I mentioned with the foul, strike 3, Stock has to go back to first. Curt not able to get the job done.
And he's aggravated. Midre Cummings tapped to Jeter in the first. Hideki Irabu, 28 years of age. Stocker goes, and Cummings swings at a high fastball on the hit run and fouls it back. Vukovic, the third base coach, John given the signs to Cummings at the plate, Stocker at first base. No one has been thrown out while trying to steal on Hideki Irabu. Baseball is 5 for 5 against him. Off speed is up.
As well as Schilling is throwing, and Irabu known to be get a little bit excited out on the mound. A good chance with the Phillies already up by a pair to put a little pressure on Irabu, see if you can get him rattled.
Inside, 2-1. Good action pitch for Stocker with good speed and Cummings at home plate. He has picked off 1 runner and walked 3 times. Foul back, 2-2.
You can see why they've run on Irabu. He's very deliberate with that leg as he picks it up and gets ready to deliver the ball to home plate. Not a quick action whatsoever. Irabu's slow with that left leg as it comes up. Sometimes those habits are hard to break. And you say, I'll just get rid of it more quickly, but that doesn't work quite that easily all the time.
Stocker goes in the dirt, no throw. Stolen base number 11 for Kevin Stocker. Girardi had no chance.
So Stocker gets himself in scoring position. We'll take a look at Irabu's delivery. Watch how slow the left leg is as he raises it up to go to home plate. Not a quick motion whatsoever. It takes Irabu a long time to deliver the ball to Girardi. Even if Girardi had a good pitch, he was going to have a difficult time throwing Stocker out, who had a good jump.
It's a full count on Cummings. Now 2 on and 2 out. First walk of the ball game. On the high fastball. The 11 steals, by the way, is a career high for Kevin Stocker. And Mickey Morandini, who hit a bolt back through the middle, scored the game's first run with 2 on, 2 out. Strike call. Talking to Mickey around the cage at batting practice this morning. He had 2 balls, a combined 845 or 50 feet yesterday in Detroit, and both were flyouts to center field. Picked the wrong part of the stadium in Detroit as the Phils drop 2 of 3. Off the foot of Irabu. Be an infield single for Morandini, and the bases are loaded for Scott Rowland.
Mickey jammed by this pitch, hits it back through the middle again. Irabu not able to make the play as the ball just kind of skithers off of his ankles. Mel Stottlemyre going to make a trip to the mound. Mel, the longtime pitching coach with the New York Mets, and was Joe Torre's pitching coach there. Now moved over to the Yankees with Joe Torre. He's done a tremendous job with this ball club. Mel, one of the all-time best pitching coaches in the National League. I'm not quite sure in this conversation now. You got Stottlemyre talking to Girardi, and then all of a sudden a little bit of that passes over to Irabu. Irabu doesn't speak a whole lot of English, so I'm not sure who the interpreter in this group is. Talked to Stottlemyre earlier. He says Irabu understands baseball terms, but not much else in English. See right there, Irabu throwing a lot of strikes. 35 pitches, 26 strikes. But possibly the quality of those strikes is what's got him in trouble right here, as the Phillies now have 5 hits in the ball game already and a chance to really put a hurting on Irabu early.
Roland singled and scored on a base hit right field. Breaking ball low. Irabu has had one start where he lasted 2 innings, one start where he lasted 3 1/3. He's had an inning and 2/3 and in a heap of trouble with 2 outs. Bases loaded for Roland. Off speed, 2-0. Scotty has yet to get a base hit in this rookie season with the bases loaded. Has hit safely in 27 of his last 29 ball games.
Pretty good time to change that around right here.
Getting a 2-0 pitch to Hammer. A little bit late. 2-1. That fastball at 94 miles an hour.
Irabu had thrown a couple of soft curveballs and got the fastball in on Roland. He's a little late. So he fouled it off the facing of the upper deck on the right side.
It's a 2-1 pitch. Check swing at the plate. 2-2. Irabu's fastball at 95 miles an hour. He's 6'4", 240. And certainly can throw hard. Stocker, Cummings, and Morandini, your base runners. Phils lead 2-0. 2-2 to Roland. Swing and a miss. And Irabu does a little hop as he comes off the mound. A huge early strikeout for Hideki Irabu. And the Yankees still trail by a score of just 2-0.
When I call, I may need a lot of answers.
Almost any question you might have, we can answer. From how much your bill is, the date that the bill's mailed out, the date that it's due, any past due balances, if you have any questions about whether we receive payments, any type of usage, we can tell you how much different appliances will cost to use. We can even tell you how much it costs to run your hot tub. Good morning. Thank you for calling Pico Energy. My name is Judy. How may I help you?
Deep in the forest under railroad trees is a big blue bear and his family. They laugh all together, they play all together, they sing and dance and stay all together. So if you're
Midas, Auto Systems experts.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
Free workout jacket for fans 14 and under. Compliments of Bell Atlantic Mobile when the Phillies play the Reds Sunday, September 14th at 1:35. Great seat location starting at just $5. Call 463-1000.
You're invited to come out and join in the fun of the Phils and the Yankees tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Wednesday at 7 o'clock as the world champs are here, part of this historic meeting. 463-1000, the number for ticket information. Ask about the daily special. Curt Schilling picks up where he left off, painting the outside corner on this perfect day for baseball. 0-1 on Joe Girardi in the top of the third. Got in on his hands and popped them up to Blomia. Can't see it. Now he picks it up. Out number 1. Now we got Bleacher Beach, we got the Extreme Games, maybe 48-52, something like that in terms of our crowd. The largest Labor Day crowd in Phillies history by far, and the most fans to ever see the Yankees play in the state of Pennsylvania, topping a Forbes Field crowd in Pittsburgh from back in the World Series of '60. Ray Sanchez, who came over from the Chicago Cubs on the 16th of August, has hit 400 in his limited time as a Yankee. And you wonder what Hideki Irabu was thinking on deck. To right field. First hit for the Yankees in front of Tony Barron as Sanchez smartly goes the other way.
Sanchez lines this fastball, stays on the inside part of the plate into right field. Of course, Ray Sanchez, one of the guys on the Yankees that has seen more of Curt Schilling recently than anyone else. And I'll tell you what Irabu's thinking. So he's thinking, thank you very much, Ray Sanchez. It's going to be much easier to try to bunt this guy than it is hit him, although Irabu may not have a whole lot of chance to bunt either.
Grania makes it over the shoulders again. He throws the arms up in the air. That was Hideki's first major league at bat.
And it's Hideki's first at bat in a long time, as pitchers in Japan do not bat. They use a designated hitter over there. Irabu has not batted since he was in high school. Well, you can tell by that bunt attempt right there that he has not obviously done a whole lot of bunting over the course of his career. I talked to Joe Torre before the game, and I asked him, he says, what about Irabu's hitting? He says, that's Stottlemyre's responsibility. He's in charge of the pitcher's hitting. Joe just very diplomatically passed that one on.
So Sanchez stays at first. Jeter swings, fouls it to the right side, 0-1. Jeter struck out looking to start the ball game. Jeter opened the season as the 7th hole hitter for the Yankees and hit about .220. Torrey popped him up in the leadoff spot, a strange reaction to a slumping hitter, and he's hit .326 as a leadoff hitter. Close play.
Of course, Jeter, the 1996 American League Rookie of the Year, and a nice contributor during the postseason run that the Yankees had. He established himself early on as not only a good ball player, but for a rookie, a guy who was able to take a little bit of charge in the clubhouse amongst so many veteran players. A very outgoing player who was very conscientious about his work.
Born in upstate New Jersey. Just missed. 2-2. The 6th player drafted in '92 and the first high school player drafted. The Yankees have only one other time drafted a shortstop in the first round. He's in the Phillies dugout. Inside, his name is Rex Hudler. Rex Hudler, the Yankees' first-round pick in 1978, also a shortstop. There he is. 2-2 on young Derek Jeter, who just turned 23 years of age. Quick move that time. Diving back is Sanchez. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Curt Schilling, strikeout number 6. But the Yankees do get their pitch first into the ball game. They trail 2-0.
The staff and the management here at the Philadelphia Zoo are making the switch to Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
I feel a pride in my people. Some places you don't want to cut the cost if it means cutting quality. I'm happy to say that we haven't had to do that. We were able to save considerable dollars with Independence Blue Cross.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, Personal Choice, or our traditional coverage from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
Why does Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile have the most advanced digital network on the East Coast? So your cell phone will work here. It works way out here. And here. In fact, to ensure that you'll have enhanced voice clarity and privacy, we built a digital network of monumental proportions. After all, a cell phone is only as good as the network it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
Next homestand of the Vet features the Reds and the Mets. 12th, 13th, and 14th Reds, 15th and 16th. Doubleheader on the 15th. Of course, it is kicked off by September 11th as the Phils take on the San Francisco Giants in that game, added to the schedule. 463-1000 for ticket information. Bottom three, Phils lead 2-0. Rico Brogno struck out swinging. Leads off against Hideki Irabu. Phils had him on the hook in the second. Big pitch against Roland to get out of it. High curveball. 1-1.
And Philly left-handed hitters have tattooed first pitch base hits off of Irabu's fastball. Looks like he's kind of put that in his pocket for a while as he starts Brogno off with the breaking ball and follows it with another one before he chases him off on that inside fastball.
Slap the other way. Fair ball for Jeter. Now number one. When Irabu first came up, faced Detroit, faced Cleveland, won a couple of ball games, and they were going over as George Steinbrenner checks his watch. We go back to the hitters and say, what do you think? What do you have? As always happens. And a lot of the hitters were saying he's just an average-looking pitcher. I'm sorry it's not politically correct or whatever to say this. And then some others were given kind of the party law. Oh, he looks like a great investment, blah, blah. It's kind of sometimes hard on a player to play scout and to kind of follow the politics of the situation.
Yeah, well, I don't think players are really that interested in following the politics. You know, you want to give the guy behind you as much information as possible. And, of course, everybody had heard about Irabu and about how hard he threw. And when he came up the first time, wasn't throwing nearly as hard as that 98 that was advertised. So the hitters are going back and saying, hey, don't expect as much as you think you're going to expect. You know, guys throwing 91, 92, and sometimes it was down as low as 89. So you try to give your teammates as much accurate information as you can, especially against a guy they haven't seen before.
Swing and a miss by Lieberthal, who gave the Phillies their 2 runs with a clutch line drive base hit with 2 outs in the first. David Justice, specifically after facing Irabu, told reporters, I'm not going to, put this guy on some artificial pedestal. He just looked like an average big league pitcher, if that. And a number of the Japanese media people then went back to Irabu and went to Steinbrenner and Torrey, etc. And it became a little bit of a cause. As you see, anything that Hideki does, much like Hideo Nomo, will be captured for all time. High ball. So Lieberthal, a 1-out base runner. Second walk issued by Irabu. Originally, his rights were acquired by the Padres. Of course, you recall he would not sign a contract with San Diego, said he would only go to the Yankees. The Yankees made the deal with the Padres conditional on being able to sign him by Memorial Day. He signed just in front of that. And that's when his American trials began. He looked inside, strike one to McMillan. They tried to bring Irabu along slowly, but everything he did, that A ball and AAA being sent down, it's going to be under the microscope. No question about that. Runner goes, Lieberthal picked clean and called out a caught stealing. 1-3-6. second pickoff for Irabu.
So even one of the most unlikely Phillies to run, Mike Lieberthal taking a shot at running on Hideki Irabu as Irabu's throw over to first base and then relay from Martinez to Jeter, and plenty of time to get Mike at second base. But I think it's pretty obvious that Terry Francona is going to try to put the running game into motion with Irabu on the mound.
Ripped down the right field line, but well foul. 0-2 on McMillan.
Let's go back to Irabu for a second. You're talking about how how much publicity there was even before he signed, as opposed even compared to after he signed and when he was doing the minor league thing and trying to get himself ready. It's one of the problems with a player when you take a player and he's so built up before he ever gets here. There's really no way that a player can live up to the publicity he gets before he gets here. We see it happen a lot of times with players, and you just hope, if it's one of your players, that they can kind of survive that period of time and then go ahead and establish themselves later on as a good major league player.
That's well said. Off speed, good pitch by Irabu. As the battle of the crowds begins to build here at Veterans Stadium, we're through 3 complete. Bills lead 2-0.
Jim Herr doesn't use just any potatoes. But then Jim Herr doesn't make just any potato chip. Make hers yours.
In this great world, I go just where I please. Don't let nothing bring this boy to his knees. I gotta roll.
When you buy tires from Sears, if you find a lower price, we'll give you double the difference back.
And I say, roll like thunder, roll like a wheel, it's time to roll.
Sears Auto Center, we keep you rolling.
Around this time every year, the guys at Midas get ready for their brake sale, where you'll save 25% on any brake shoes and pads, guaranteed for as long as you own your car. The brake sale at Midas.
Leave it to the experts at Midas to give you the break you deserve. Right now, you'll get 25% off brake shoes and pads. And with your 25% off, you'll also get a free oil change, a free lube, and a free filter. But you better step on it. This offer ends soon.
Free workout jacket for fans 14 and under. Compliments of Bell Atlantic Mobile. When the Phillies play the Reds, Sunday, September 14th at 1:35. Great seat location starting at just $5. Call 463-1000.
Back at Veterans Stadium, top of the 4th inning, Phillies on top 2-0. Hasn't taken Hideki Irabu long to realize that the outside part of the plate, as opposed to the inside part of the plate, is where Gary Darling's wide strike zone is. We'll take a look at the looping curveball against Billy McMillan. He starts the ball off the plate and loops it back toward that wide outside corner, gets the call. You don't have to be able to speak English to understand what side of the plate is the wide one. Irabu again with a very long, deliberate motion as he delivers that ball plateward. Good arm speed right at the end as everything is nice and slow, and then all of a sudden the arm just snaps through on the big right-hander.
Here's Wade Boggs. First pitch swinging, checks it and fouls it back. Boggs struck out looking.
Interesting number I read the other day on Wade Boggs. Now this goes back to last year in 1996. Only 4% of the time that Wade Boggs swung the bat did he swing and miss the ball completely. He got the bat on the ball 96% of the time that he swings it.
Straight up to Barron, who's having a little trouble with the high sky. Has it for round number 1.
I mean, that's unbelievable that a guy swings the bat 96% of the time that he swings at the ball, he gets a piece of it.
Well, he has batted almost 8,500 times, Teague, and struck out 630. Which is an impressive number. Has walked twice as many times as he struck out, and that's how you have a .333 lifetime batting average.
And a whole bunch of batting titles.
5. And a trip to Cooperstown waiting. Williams shows bunt. Was not a classic drag bunt. For Williams, who was a little angry at himself. .395 hitter in August, raised his overall numbers to .328.
That tells you something about how Curt Schilling is throwing. A guy that's swinging the bat that well, attempting to bunt the first pitch off of Schilling.
One and one. With one difference in New York from most other clubs is the amount of talent on the bench. The money, the veterans, the names, Strawberries, Raines, et al.
Now, one thing Joe Torre cannot complain about is the fact that he doesn't have all the weapons he needs. He's got them.
2-1. Darryl Strawberry, an active member of this team. We saw a note on Darryl, the only player in the history of baseball to play for the Mets, Yankees, Giants, and Dodgers. So
all the teams that ever played in New York. No, he didn't play.
Highlanders.
He didn't play for them when they were in New York, but yeah, but the Highlanders became the Yankees. So I mean, any team that ever played in New York, Darryl Strawberry has played there.
Williams is out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, about to turn 29. Bernabe Figueroa Williams has a 2-2 count from Curt Schilling. Hard to his left goes Morandini. Now number 2. As Williams was relegated to the put-it-in-play swing, hit the 2-hopper to Mickey. Not a lot of comfortable swings against Curt Schilling. Tino Martinez struck out swinging to start the second. Strike one call. Martinez, originally drafted by the Mariners out of University of Tampa, was an '88 Olympian. Swing and a miss. As Curt went toward that danger zone, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball went down and in on a home run hitting left-hander.
Yeah, not too often when you throw a ball by a hitter down and in, but you do right there to Martinez. Most left-handed hitters, that's their happy zone.
Just missed. Schilling wanted that one off the outside edge.
The outside part of the plate has been the wide part of the plate so far this afternoon, possibly just a little bit low. Right in that same area, he's got a lot of called strikes, though.
Swing and a miss. Curt Schilling goes back outside for strikeout number 7. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Schilling right perfect on the outside part of the plate.
Rails to the river! A morning country train ride upstream. Then canoe down the Brandywine River. Northbrook Canoe presents Rails to the River. Rails to the River departs Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9:30. For reservations or directions, call Northbrook Canoe at 793-2279.
When it's dark out, everything moves faster. The lights go on, the field's hotter, the crowd's louder, and the intensity boiling up all day inside each player is let loose on the field. Sunday night, NFL on TNT. The best time for football. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
Locally sponsored by Philadelphia Park and their 5 Turf Club locations.
You can help stop domestic violence. Call us.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by your local Chevrolet Geo dealer. By Bell Atlantic 9X Mobile, who has the most advanced digital network because your calls must get through. By your local Dodge dealers. The more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. By Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you. By Nissan, who reminds you that life's a journey. Enjoy the ride. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you.
With Kent Jacoby, I'm Larry Rosen. Glad you're with us. Sports Channel coverage of Phillies baseball. Bottom four this historic afternoon. Hideki Irabu in the dirt on pitch number 1 to Tony Barron. The 2-out, 2-run single by Mike Lieberthal still stands up as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Well hit to left center field. Curtis looking up, gone! Home run number 3 for Tony Barron. The 12th given up by Hideki Irabu. Phil's lead 3-0.
Irabu started Barron off with a breaking ball, not able to get it over. Then on 1 ball and no strikes decides to challenge Barron with that fastball. And we talked about it before. Irabu has had trouble with the long ball. This is just a straight fastball, thigh high in the middle of the plate. Tony Barron gets it up over the wall in left field. Chad Curtis decides to toss it up in the crowd. So the long ball again has struck against Hideki Irabu.
Kevin Stocker stands in. Yankee bullpen still quiet as Irabu yields the 3rd run. Off speed to Stocker is a bolt down the right field line. Will catch and not be touched by a fan. Sliding safely is Stocker. He's 2 for 2. On the off-speed pitch, Stock just yanks it into the corner.
Nice job by Kevin of staying back on this off-speed breaking balls. It loops to the inside part of the plate. Irabu trying to drop that over the outside corner, got it in the middle. Stocker out in front. We mentioned Paul O'Neill with a strong arm, even though he was off balance, able to get the ball back in quickly, but Stocker able to slide in with a double.
Number 22. Of course, O'Neill has played right field an awful lot here, so he knew with that carom to make sure he was charging and made a play of it at second base.
See what Curt tries to do here. If he's going to try to bunt the ball or try to hit it to the right side to get Stocker over the third base.
Bunts it in the air and over the dugout. Nice one-handed play there. It's 0-1 as the Yankees do begin bullpen action. Brian Boringer with the early call. Nobody out, bottom 4. A run in on the Barron home run. Stocker in scoring position, and Schilling thinking sacrifice.
Yeah, Schilling has had some trouble getting the ball down against Irabu. If he can do it here as he misses outside, wouldn't be surprised to see them take the bunt off and give Schill a chance to just try to slap the ball on the ground to the right side.
Johnny Boot going through the signs. Schilling has 67 at-bats plus the 9 sacrifices. Is comfortable with the bat in his hands. Line drives that drop. Irabu, no one's covering third, and Irabu doesn't take the out. Probably called a sacrifice fielder's choice. Stocker in no man's land looked up and third base was vacant.
Yeah, big defensive breakdown right here for the Yankees. The Schilling doesn't do a very good job at all. Pops the ball up along the third base line. Irabu lets it drop. Takes a look right now. Wade Boggs right next to him. Takes a look at second. Then all of a sudden, Jeter, who is standing over by the bag at second base, doesn't realize that Boggs has come home. If Boggs charges on that play, it's Derek Jeter's responsibility to get over to third base. He's standing very quietly at second base. Nobody covering third. Stocker moves to third. Schilling to first, and Irabu stand holding the ball.
B.J. Cummings batting, takes strike 1 inside corner. I've not heard the official scoring.
It has to be a base hit. The ball wasn't mishandled. Irabu just elected not to throw to first base.
So runners at the corners. That's in the dirt and in the dugout. Run number 4 scored by Kevin Stocker. Curt Schilling moves up. on Irabu's second wild pitch. Phil's lead 4-0.
And now we're seeing the composure issue that we talked about early in the ballgame with Irabu is the blown play on the bunt play, and now all of a sudden Irabu takes this ball and bounces it well into the dirt. Kevin Stocker over at third base has the easy trip home as the ball bounds all the way into the Yankees dugout. Kevin just trot on in with run number 4 of the afternoon. Curt Schilling at second, no force now. He's down there, and Irabu has the wheel spinning.
Bunting for a base hit. Cummings bunts it foul. George doing a little nail biting.
He wants the right-hander. No, he's just pointing. Excuse me.
Keep thinking it's an episode from Seinfeld. Every time we look for George Costanza sitting to his left. Schilling's ball was ruled a base hit as Irabu threw nowhere. Cummings tries to just pull it and move the base runner. Yanks it foul. Still 1-2.
Well, the Phillies with a great opportunity in the second inning when they loaded him up with 2 outs, but Irabu able to get out of that by striking out Scott Rowland. Another opportunity right here in bottom 4 to bust this game wide open.
Cummings had a good swing at that, fouled it straight back.
Got a pair of runs in already. Got the top of the order up with Curt Schilling on second base. Nobody out. Those are the types of situations where you really like to put the leather to them.
Again, Cummings trying to pull that pitch despite its location. Two. Irabu to Cummings. Line drive knocked down at second base by Sanchez. Infield single. Schilling playing it very safe as Sanchez had a shot at it in the air, holds at second base.
4th consecutive base hit for the Phillies in the inning. That's going to bring Joe Torre out of the dugout. And that will end the afternoon for Hideki Irabu. Take a look right here. A nice play by Sanchez just to knock this ball down. As you mentioned, Schilling had to wait. He didn't know if Sanchez was going to get there and catch the ball in the air or not. So with nobody out, plays it safe, retreats to second base. And Hideki Irabu gives up 9 hits in 3+ innings. Doesn't retire a hitter in the 4th. Gives up 4 runs, responsible for the 2 men on base. And his afternoon is over.
And as he walks off the mound, a tip of the cap. I assume in frustration is sarcasm. His day is done, trailing 4-0 at the bend.
I teach 1st grade.
I teach high school classes.
As soon as school gets out, we pack up our camper and we start out traveling. We get Scotty's schedule and we decide where we're going to go. We're all loaded up with groceries and clothes and the dog. And
we'd much rather be out in the woods than we would downtown somewhere.
We love to follow them. We like to see the different ballparks. Other guys might think, well, gee, if parents are camping instead of in motels like ours. But to Scotty, he's used to that. He'd be surprised if we didn't.
We could not deny the RAV4 our top ranking.
The RAV4 breaks expected molds.
The RAV4 rides a great deal better than many a sedan.
Handling in both RAV4 models is excellent.
The all-new RAV4 recreational activity vehicle starts at only $15,118. Maybe we should start calling it the RAV4.
Driving it is great fun.
Travel provided by U.S. Airways, offering the only daily nonstop service between Philadelphia and Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport.
An early call to Brian Boehringer as Irabu's day is done. Kent DeColby.
Yeah, Boehringer on for the 24th time. 2 wins, 2 losses, 3.73 earned run average. He's done a nice job for the Yankees in 31 in the 3rd innings. Struck out 36 batters. Does walk a high amount of batters, though, in that 31 and a third. Also 26 walks, so a hard thrower that can get wild.
Had arthroscopic surgery on his right elbow to take bone chips out back in June. So it's been an interrupted year with a bunch of rehab stints for Boehringer. Facing Morandini to left center field high. Williams, who glides in center, has it. Schilling tags, and he's going to go as the throw conceded by Williams. Schill slides, he's safe. Do it all, Curt. Now, is that just a miscue by Bernie Williams, thrown to the wrong base, conceding Schill wouldn't go?
No, he's pretty deep in left center field, so Williams is going to return the ball to second base all the way. Cummings at first had started to break towards second, then once he sees the ball coming towards second, heads back to first base. But a good job of base running again by Schilling as he waits to make sure that Williams has made the catch and then moves over to third base. He doesn't know that the throw's not coming. The pitchers aren't that experienced, so when in doubt, slide.
Scott Rowland with runners at the corners. And 1 out, 2 in. Foul tip off the mask of Girardi.
Hideki Irabu's afternoon, pretty much what we expected. 3 innings. He got his strikeouts. 5 strikeouts in the 3 innings, but gave up a ton of hits, 9 of them. Walked 2, given up 4 runs to this point, responsible for the base runners the Phillies have on. It's kind of the way things have gone for Irabu. And by the way, he did manage to give up that long ball again.
Yes, he did. Cummings is picked off as he spun his wheels. Not even a fire move by Boehringer, but Cummings kind of spun those wheels and is picked clean at first base.
Take a look right here. Boehringer with just the normal throw over to first base. Cummings got caught in between. Do I dive back or do I come back in standing? Well, by the time he got that all straightened out, Tino Martinez has applied the tag.
But Scott Rowland picks him up. RBI base hit with 2 outs. Schilling scores. 5-0 Philadelphia. RBI number 79 for the Rookie of the Year in the National League. And you know, Midre Cummings is the happiest man in the ballpark for this hit.
Yeah, another down and in pitch. Rolling inside outs into right field. Lobs it in front of Paul O'Neill. Phillies with 5 on the board now. 2 in the first and a big 3 spot here in the bottom of the 4th.
All 5 earned and all 5 charged to Hideki Irabu. His line now complete. 5 runs, 3+ innings, 9 hits, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Bronny is 0 for 2.
And a pair of wild pitches. He played a big part in that as he wild pitched in Kevin Stocker from third. Also, the wild pitch in the first inning allowed Morandini and Rowland to move up before they both scored.
Swing and a miss by Bronny. Bills 2 in the first, 3 in the 4th. 10 hits already, and a 5-0 lead before a huge Labor Day house facing the defending world champions. Inside corner, says Gary Darling. 1-2 on Bronny. Boehringer's been on the Columbus to New York shuttle the last couple of years. Well inside, 2-2. Boehringer was a highly touted starting pitching prospect a few years ago, traded from the Cubs organization to the Yankees for Paul Ossenmacher, and the Yankees have made him into a relief pitcher. His progress has been slow but steady. In the hole, good range Sanchez fills down in the 4th inning, but it's a big inning, 3 runs, highlighted by the Tony Barrett home run. Bills take a 5-0 lead through 4.
Here's a look at this week's Mellon PSFS Financial Scoreboard, featuring our best installment loans.
Neither rain, nor mud, nor ruts and ridges, nor rocks and rivers, nor sleet nor snow shall keep a new Toyota 4Runner from keeping you from your appointed rounds. Power you need and all the room With a starting price around $20,000, it could take your dollar even further.
The staff and the management here at the Philadelphia Zoo are making the switch to Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
I feel a pride in my people. Some places you don't want to cut the cost if it means cutting quality. I'm happy to say that we haven't had to do that. We were able to save considerable dollars with Independence Blue Cross.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, Personal Choice, or our traditional coverage from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
Here's the way the AL East Division standings looked a year ago. New York with a 4-game lead and 76 wins against Baltimore. As of today, the Yankees have 3 more wins and yet are 6.5 games out behind Baltimore. And no matter how they play, they just don't seem to make up any ground. So Joe Torre, their skipper, to the New York media, conceded it's all over. Concede to the AL East to Baltimore in yesterday's New York Post, saying they should concentrate now on simply taking the wild card. That, of course, raised some eyebrows with a 4-game series coming up against Baltimore. And I guess you never want to tell your team it's okay to settle for where you are, but the Orioles have been tough to catch.
Well, the Orioles have been tough to catch, but wouldn't be surprised Joe Torre playing a few mind games with his ball players there also. Whenever you tell somebody it's over, all of a sudden you give them a reason to start grinding just a little bit harder. I think we've seen the results of that Jerry Reinsdorf statement in Chicago about the White Sox will never catch the Cleveland Indians, and all of a sudden, what have the White Sox done since then? They've played a lot better baseball. So Major League Baseball players, one thing you can do to get them going is challenge their attitude and challenge their ability to come back and do something. Very proud people.
Paul O'Neill struck out looking on a pitch just like that in the second. Schilling with the dirty uniform from that long trip around the bases.
But a productive one. And Schilling scores the 5th run of the afternoon for the Phillies.
1-1, 2-1. O'Neill also has a career high in RBIs with 105 in 1997. The other way, that's the way we remember Paul O'Neill slashing the ball to the opposite field. Schilling will offer a 2-2. Tapper foul over the Phillies dugout, still 2-2. O'Neill, a lifetime .283 hitter, in the American League a .315 hitter, in the National League a .259 hitter in similar numbers of games. A strange discrepancy. Got him looking outside edge. Strikeout number 8 for Curt Schilling. Put it up there, boys.
Same formula as last time. Get O'Neill to 2 strikes. Paint that outside corner right at the knees. That nice wide outside corner this time. O'Neill argued a little bit the last time. This time he knows that pitch is going to be a strike. Just headed back to the dugout as Curt Schilling tucks the head down, and then all of a sudden, bingo, nails that outside corner again.
Has 8 strikeouts, 5 looking, 3 swinging. To left field. McMillan calls it all the way. And Chad Curtis is now number 2.
You don't see too many of those when Curt Schilling's on the mound. 1 pitch outs. He gets Curtis swinging on the first pitch. Flies softly to left field. Billy McMillan puts it away. And for all the pitches that Curt throws and all the strikeouts that he gets, it's nice to get a couple of those 1-pitch outs during the course of the ball game. Makes your afternoon a little bit more comfortable.
Girardi goes the other way. Interesting, as Schill was delivering that pitch, Vidre Cummings was sprinting from left center field to right center field as John Vukovich, Brad Mills down in the Phillies dugout were reminding him that Girardi, they play to the opposite field. It was a good truck to get from side to side. when the pitch was fouled back. If he hit it to right center, Midre would have had a nice running jump on it.
But if it hit the left center, it had slammed the brakes on in a hurry. Might have been some sparks coming off those shoes.
Your defensive coaches, Book and Mills. Some strange hand signals that they give the outfielders. 1-1. Another late swing foul to the upper deck.
Yeah, especially John Vukovic when he positions the outfielders. He could get a job over at Philadelphia International if his coaching career ever goes south. Just parking the planes. He's got all those little hand signals and moving guys left and right. He could get those planes right at the gate.
It's 1-2 with 2 out in the 5th. He did. Strike 3 swinging. Strikeout number 9 for the Dominator. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Curt Schilling goes with a splitter.
Rails to the river! All aboard for Rails to the River, brought to you by Northbrook Canoe. Imagine the perfect excursion. You board the Brandywine Scenic Railroad for a 30-minute train ride through the Chester County countryside while you enjoy a continental breakfast. Then it's into your canoe for a leisurely trip back to Northbrook. Rails to the River departs Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9:30. For reservations or directions, call 793-2279.
Next, Billy.
I found all kinds of things on this totally cool new website called InPhiladelphia.com. It's got all kinds of rad stuff about our area. You know, dining, travel, business. Like my mom used it to find a new job. Dad used it to get directions and a map. And my dorky sister uses it to find out what's on TV. And me, I go right to the sports. Whatever you do, don't tell anybody about it, because you'll never get on your computer again. InPhiladelphia.com. So simple, even an adult can use it.
Prism today.
No matter how slippery it gets, you gotta stay in control. Now during the Chevy Big Value Big Savings event, you can get 2.9 APR financing or cash back on a roomy Chevy Blazer. Blazer helps give you driver control on most any road surface, and that's a little security in an insecure world. There's great offers on other cars and trucks too. There'll never be a better time to get a 97 Chevy than during the Chevy Big Value Big Savings event.
Right now, get 2.9 financing or $1,500 factory cash back at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
Time now for our Discover Card playback, something we haven't seen much of the last couple of games from Curt Schilling. Strikeout on a split finger as he gets Joe Girardi. His fastball has been just so dominant in the last couple of games. He hasn't needed the split finger. Got 10 of them the other day. I don't remember any of them coming on a split finger. That's the first one I remember this afternoon out of the 9 that he has. Curt Schilling with 9 strikeouts through the first 5 innings.
Lieberthal to right field. O'Neill breaks in, breaks back, out number 1. We saw on the line for Schill thus far 54 pitches through 5 innings. Last start, Schilling had well over 120 in a 6-inning start that wound up a no decision. That happens with power pitchers, but Kurt's only got 54 pitches in the book.
Yeah, a very low total, especially considering the fact that he has 9 strikeouts in the ball game, but he has just been pounding that strike zone.
Swing and a miss by Billy McMillan as he went for the downs. It's 0-1. He has struck out swinging and looking. Now facing Brian Boehringer. 0-2. Boehringer in his 2nd inning of work behind Hideki Irabu, who the Phillies roughed up with 2 in the 1st and 3 in the 4th. Inside, 1-2. Boehringer would be the 2nd scheduled hitter in the top of the 6th. As yet no action in the Yankees bullpen. Off-speed pitch, tap, foul.
Of course, something that they have to deal with during interleague play now in National League parks. They do not have the designated hitter, so you have to consider the fact that when your pitcher is coming up. Of course, Joe Torre spent a long time managing in the National League, so that should not be a problem for him.
2-2.
He's used to keeping an eye on that pitcher spot, and just one other thing the manager has to keep track of: where is my pitcher at in the lineup?
Wide of first. O'Neill will take some help. No, he won't. Well, they had a little meeting at first base, out number 2. It's a great-looking blue pullover workup jacket with the Phillies logo on it for fans 14 and under. Available on Jacket Day Sunday, September 14th, a 1:35 start against the Reds. Perfect item for back-to-school fall weather. Fun for the whole family. 463-1000 for ticket information or stop by the Veterans Stadium ticket office. Tony Barron hit his third big league home run in his last at-bat. He swung. It's 0-1. Been pretty much the everyday right fielder. Hitting at 287 right now. A 31-year-old rookie who had just one big league at-bat prior to the Phillies call-up. A strikeout by now teammate Mark Leiter. Targets away. The pitch is outside. It's 1-2.
Center interns here at Veterans Stadium, Amy Malvera, asked us to send along happy 80th birthday wishes to her grandpop, Tony Malvera, over in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. We're glad to do that for you.
Boehringer drops down, goes sidearm for a strikeout. So a 1-2-3 fifth. We're through 5. Phil's lead 5-0.
I want boom, da. Dude, why do you want to look at my Discover card statement? It's mine. I live in New York City. Of course, I love the theater. Bring in the noise. You know, it's my favorite show. I go there as often as I can, trying to steal another step. And my kids want me to be more risky. Come to Garçon stuff is, you know, it's risky. I want a cashback bonus.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Get ready to roll with the Dice Man this fall on UPN.
Oh! Get with the program, eh?
Hits coming to UPN.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
If I didn't have to be down here in the bullpen, I'd be up there at Bleacher Beach.
Exciting baseball to close out the season at Veterans Stadium as the Marlins and Braves come to town. The Marlins September 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Rather, the Braves first, then the Marlins 26th, 27th, and 28th. Order tickets easily by phone. Call 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office of Mellon PSFS at Broad and Chestnut Streets. Well, do you ever fear that you'd get that knock on the door from a failed relationship of your youth and a child would arrive? That happened to the fanatic in the ballpark today, and yet he embraced the youngster. The young fanatic had an act very similar to Dad. Top of the 6th, Ray Sanchez stands in. He's got the Yankees' only hit. A clean single in the 3rd. Bids for another. Barron breaks in, breaks back. It's over his head. It one-hops the wall. Sanchez, a stand-up double on a ball Barron will tell you we should have had. And we'll get Rock Raines as a pinch hitter.
Take a look right here. Sanchez lines the ball to right field. Barron doesn't think it's going to go as deep, cuts across, and then goes back. Not able to get back quick enough as the ball one hops off the wall. So Ray Sanchez, the offense this afternoon for the New York Yankees, as he has both of their base hits, both to right field.
Tim Raines to hit for Brian Boehringer, who settled it down for a couple of innings and kept his club afloat. Raines, the veteran, takes a strike.
See Raines right there, 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Normally an everyday player. Has had some injury problems over the course of the '97 season, in and out of the Yankee lineup. It's appeared in only 53 games for the Yankees.
He'll turn 38 years of age next week. High ball. Raines over the 2,400 hit plateau and has stolen 794 career bases. Just missed. 2-1. He's a 7-time All-Star. An exceptional career for Tim Raines. And Schilling behind the hitter. It's 3-1. Full count.
For the first time this afternoon, the Yankee fans in the crowd have a little something to cheer about as they start making some noise here in the top of the 6th inning. It's been all Phillies through the first 5. Philly fans having all the opportunities to make some noise. Now the Yankee fans taking their chance here in the top of the 6th.
Swing and a miss. As Schilling blows away Raines, strikeout number 10.
Take a look right here. It's the splitter down to Raines out of the strike zone. Curt Schilling now with 10 on the afternoon. Retires his first out here in the top of the 6th. 16 times. And now 9 of the last 11 starts that Schilling has made, he has struck out 10 or more.
He is in some rarefied air. Swing and a miss by Jeter. Graham Lloyd, the left-hander, will likely be the next Yankee hurler.
Of the 10 strikeouts this afternoon, Derek Jeter, a victim 2 times. Struck out looking in the first, swinging in the third.
Away. 1-1. Randy Johnson had 16 10 strikeout games back in '95. The last National Leaguer to have 15 was Dwight Gooden 13 years ago as a Met. Out front, tap foul.
Speaking of Dwight Gooden, he'll be on the mound for the Yankees on Wednesday when they conclude the series. He and Tyler Green will hook up Wednesday evening. There's the doctor. Did he take the National League by storm when he was a rookie? A 19-year-old rookie with the New York Mets. A lot of water has passed under the bridge since then, but Dwight Gooden still a formidable opponent.
One and 2. High. It's 2-2. The National League record for most 10 strikeout plus games in a year is 21, set by Sandy Koufax in '65. He holds. Count is full.
97-mile-an-hour fastball by Schilling. He's missed just outside a couple times. You see Jeter really looking at those outside pitches. If Schilling can throw him a fastball on the inside right now, Jeter should have absolutely no chances. He is really being conscious of that outside corner.
They're back out there, but the pitch does come in on his hands. Slap foul the other way.
And that pitch was only on the inside half of the plate, didn't get all the way in, and Jeter fisted it foul down the right field side.
That one reached 98 on the gun. Steve Carlton, the only Philly ever to reach 300 strikeouts. And there is Gehrig and Shonda Schilling, part of Team Schilling behind home plate. It sure is a family affair for Curt. Fouled off again. Gehrig knows the routine. He comes out, sits in his seat. Mom hands him the sun protection lotion, SPF 25. He spreads it all over, flops himself up, and then jumps back on Mommy's lap. Another 3-2 pitch coming for Jeter. Again, Levy goes outside. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 11 for Curt Schilling. Number 275 ties him with Steve Carlton for 4th place on the all-time single season list.
Phil just goes right back to the outside corner and overpowers Jeter with that fastball. 98 miles an hour again, knee high on the black. Derek Jeter should not feel too depressed about striking out. Not too many men in the game of baseball that can hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball knee high on the outside corner.
Here's Wade Boggs. Schilling trying to waste the leadoff double of Ray Sanchez. Having struck out Raines and Jeter, now facing Boggs. Two and 0. When Boggs was a Red Sox and Schilling was an Oriole, Wade went 2 for 7 off Curt with a couple of base hits.
Two different times in both of their careers.
Yeah.
Boggs at that point in time was in the middle of that streak of batting titles and 300-plus seasons. There's Boggs now on the downside of his career as the average has fallen off the last couple of years. Schilling right at the summit.
Boggs has hit 314 times. The other way and foul. 2-2. Charlie Hayes, the one-time Philly who caught the final out of the last no-hitter in this ballpark. Thrown by Terry Mulholland.
And caught the final out of the last World Series won by the Yankees. 1997 right in front of the dugout.
Now with a viral infection of the throat, so Boggs starting for the 4th straight day. Just missed. Schilling wanted that.
Take a look at this pitch. It's a little bit wide on the outside part.
3-2. Schilling facing Wade Boggs. Sanchez still at second base with 2 out. That'll be a fair ball down the left field line. Vintage Boggs. The run will score, and Boggs holds it first. Good play, Billy McMillan. It's a 5-1 ball game as Boggs simply serves it over third base.
Well, as you mentioned, Larry, vintage Wade Boggs. He slashes the ball the other way with the best of them. That pitch down and away. He can line it down the left field side. Tucks this one right over the third base bag. Gets the Yankees on the board as Ray Sanchez comes across with the first run of the afternoon for the Yankees, and Wade Boggs gets aboard on the first base hit by a Yankee other than Ray Sanchez.
So Bernie Williams batting. With 2 outs and Boggs at first. Williams and Sanchez, the only Yankees who have not yet been struck out among the position players. Huge crowd on hand for this beautiful Labor Day afternoon. Phil's on top 5-1, top 6. Williams, with something in his eye, steps out.
Come on. That's right. Here we go.
2-0. Lieberthal will go out for a little discussion with Curt Schilling, who had thrown just 54 pitches through the first 5 innings and had been in no trouble at all.
And Curt had low pitch counts through those first 5 innings. All of a sudden now here in the 6th inning, the first time in the ball game where he's really had to throw quite a few pitches. Galen Cisco, obviously, as always, keeping a close eye on Curt, but after throwing quite a few pitches this inning, I think Lieberthal just went out there to give Curt a little bit of a breather. You're obviously, throwing the ball very well. You're not going to, give him any advice on how to throw. Just give him a little chance to get himself back together.
Pop up. Long run. McMillan, Stocker, no one's going to get there. Rowland will play it as Boggs is held at third. Rowland's throw back in. Schilling comes up with it. And a long bloop double for Bernie Williams will give Tino Martinez a shot to hack.
See, McMillan way over in left center field with Williams at the plate. Nobody able to get there. Rowland eventually makes the play. 2 outs and the ball popped to left field. Wade Boggs doesn't run as well as he used to. He moves from first to third, but ball in the air an awful long time with 2 outs for a guy not to be able to score from first base as Boggs has to retreat to the bag. Now Lieberthal back out to the mound, and Galen Cisco going to join them out there. Bernie Williams with a bloop double down the left field line just into no man's land. Scott Rowland went straight back all the way down to that cut in the corner of the turf. Kevin Stocker, who was shaded over toward the middle, had a long way to go. And, of course, Billy McMillan over in left center field, a long way to go. You won't see too many high blooping doubles like that.
Next pitch will be number 80 for Schilling. And the 26th of this inning. Martinez has struck out twice swinging. O'Neill has struck out twice looking. You've got first base open. But O'Neill will be the tying run, so it looks like they'll go try to get Martinez.
Well, you let Schilling do what he's most comfortable with right here, and that is try to make some pitches on Martinez. If he falls behind, don't look for him to concede.
Martinez, a good hack, fouls it back. The Phillies outfield is so deep and swung around toward right center field. Cummings is generally straight away, but you see McMillan over and Barron almost to the warning track. So any kind of base hit's going to score 2 runs as Williams has excellent speed at second base. 0-1 on Martinez. Strike 2 called. Martinez is the leading RBI man in the American League, second in home runs, career highs in both categories. Schilling's got him 0-2. Bonds at third, Williams at second, 2 out. Foul back. Schilling's not going to waste a pitch.
No, Schilling is in a situation now where he's got Martinez down in the count, so he's going to go at him. But the Yankees now, who have been completely outplayed in this ball game and outpitched, see an opportunity to get themselves back into this game. They've got to run in, a couple guys on, and they're in the middle of that lineup with their number 4 hitter at the plate. So that's why all of a sudden a little more life has been back into the New York Yankees.
It's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Nope, he got a little piece, and Lieberthal didn't come up with it on the splitter.
Take a look at Martinez, kind of off balance swing as he's just able to get a piece of it and foul it into the dirt. Short hops Mike Lieberthal. Good job right there of Martinez just to be able to get his bat on the ball. He was completely fooled by that split finger.
Stays alive. Again, the crowd comes to life. Again, Martinez fouls him back. So this is building as a monumental confrontation between Curt Schilling and Tino Martinez in the 6th.
And as you mentioned, the crowd coming to life. The Phillies side of the crowd, the Phillies fans in the crowd pulling for Curt Schilling, so they're cheering, and all of a sudden the Yankee fans cheering for Tino Martinez to get a base hit. So everybody in the ballpark cheering, not particularly for the same result.
Martinez asks for time, and Darling gives it to him. With Brawny playing exceedingly deep at first, Schilling's going to have to cover at first base on anything pulled Rico's way. In the air, foul, rolling, looks around, plenty of room. Got it. Curt Schilling goes and gets Tino Martinez, and Gehrig applauds Dad. Middle of the sixth, 5-1.
The staff and the management here at the Philadelphia Zoo are making the switch to Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
It makes us feel valued to know that they've given us a better plan.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to be the greatest thing that we ever had. It's just really going to work out well, not only for me personally, but for my membership.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, personal choice, or our traditional coverage from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
Explorer has everything I want.
I sit up higher.
Got the V8.
I love the power.
It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. The one you want. Ford Explorer, just $299 a month for 24 months.
After the test drive, we were hooked.
We love it.
More cargo room than Cherokee. More horsepower than Blazer. Ford Explorer, $299 a month. But hurry while selection is best, because $299 a month ends September 3rd during Ford's factory authorized clearance at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You're the one that I want.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement, I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf ball's around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Lapidochromis, Carulius. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
See, what else do I have on
this? It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Curt Schilling survives a bit of a crucible in the sixth. Bills still lead 5-1. And the Yankees turn to their third pitcher of the afternoon, left-hander Graham Lloyd. Lloyd in his 37th outing, or his 38th outing, has given Joe Torre some quality help from the left side.
Lloyd, a strong left-handed pitcher, a big guy at 6'7", 234 pounds. He's tough against left-handed hitters in particular. He's got a big curveball, a sinker, and a slider. Can throw all three pitches in the strike zone. Remember, a year ago when Lloyd came to the Yankees, he struggled mightily at first, and it was really on the bad list in New York as far as the media went. But all of a sudden had an outstanding performance during the postseason play, and Graham Lloyd has become a very valuable member now of Joe Torre's bullpen. Big left-hander from Australia, the Aussie.
Here's a guy who had an ERA of 17.47 in 13 regular season games, Teague, and then in 8 postseason games, an ERA of 0, and won a ball game in the World Series after not having won one all year. So talk about saving your best for the right time.
Well, timing is everything, and Lloyd had some great timing last year, even though he went through the struggles, and there was really a lot of people that questioned Joe Torre even using him during the postseason as much as he struggled, but Torre's faith in Lloyd was rewarded by some good work.
Kevin Stocker's got a couple of base hits, has that average up to 268. Will bat right-handed. The 302 hitter from the right side against Lloyd. Credit by Brian Boehringer with 2 scoreless innings behind Irabu to keep it a 5-0 ball game, now 5-1, as the Yankees got 1 at the top of the 6th. 0-2.
I'd like to pass along happy 77th birthday wishes to Zeke Levine of Levittown, PA, celebrating a birthday today. Also, Dom Sincotti of Philadelphia celebrating his 82nd birthday today. Happy birthday to both of those gentlemen.
Low, 1-2.
Also happy anniversary wishes to Harry and Ethel Pacone of Norristown, PA. They're not watching this at home, though. They are here at the ballpark today, so happy anniversary to them.
One and two, Lloyd to Stocker, off speed, And hit high in the air to short left center field. Who wants it? Williams will take charge. 1 out. Phillies will be on Prism Television tomorrow and Wednesday to close out the interleague schedule for 1997. Then on WB 17 Thursday and Friday against the Expos. Big hand for Curt Schilling, who got a base hit out of a bunt in the middle of the Phillies' 3-run fourth, where Hideki Irabu looked to third base, had no one covering, and then kind of ate the baseball.
Yeah, Irabu a little confused on the play, didn't know where he wanted to go, and while he made that decision, Schilling able to cross the bag at first. Turned out to be a big play in the inning as Schilling came across and scored the 5th run of the game for the Phillies eventually.
0-2.
Also like to pass along happy 50th wedding anniversary wishes to Robert and Helena Coughlin of Cherry Hill, New Jersey, celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary today. Congratulations.
Schilling throws the bat right to where Darryl Strawberry was sitting, if he hasn't moved, down by the photo deck. So he is Lloyd's first strikeout victim. 2 outs.
Schill way out in front of that off-speed pitch by Lloyd as the bat helicopters over and one hops into the camera well just next to the Yankee dugout. Get hazard pay over there every once in a while.
Center fielder Midre Cummings. Takes a strike from Graham Lloyd. Hideki Irabu went 3+ innings, charged with 5 runs and 9 hits, and an early exit. With David Cone throwing, what, a simulated game tomorrow? Is that what you heard?
Tomorrow afternoon, yeah. He's going to throw a simulated game here at Veterans Stadium.
If all goes well, he's off the disabled list to pitch in Baltimore over the weekend, as that's a curveball that Lloyd didn't get on top of. As Cummings sits down. There is David Cone. Will likely rejoin the rotation probably on Sunday. We'll be curious to see how many more starts down the stretch Hideki Irabu was able to get. Way outside. It's got to be hard when your owner spends that kind of money and you're the manager looking at a rotation. It's a shortstop. Stays down for Jeter. And Lloyd has himself a 1, 2, 3, 6th innings. We're through 6 complete, 5-1 Phillies.
Get ready for the Mania. Movie Mania. Summer Movie Mania begins this May only on Prism. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
Looks like a bad B movie, for crying out loud. So I said to the guy, maybe I want to direct the scene. You know what I mean? But he wanted to do it himself, and the whole thing went to dumping.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Well, I had a pizza last night.
Make it a Bud Light.
Pepperoni! Like I care.
So, you want to see my Discover card statement? I am very, very prissy. I love to be pampered. I go have my hair done. I love to go have my nails done, have pedicures, manicures. My biggest weakness would have to be shoes. Cashback bonus award really floats my boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
I am definitely a shopaholic.
It pays to discover. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
The Phillies say thank you in a day full of prizes and surprises. It's Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 28th at 1:35, when the Phillies play the Florida Marlins with Darren Dalton. Call 463-1000.
The Phillies close out the season against the Marlins and say thank you to all fans on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 28th, the 1:35 start. Plenty of prizes and surprises on hand. Make plans to come out for the final game in 1997. Order tickets easily by phone at 463-1000 or order online at Phillies.com. We move to the 7th inning. Schilling, still working on a 4-hitter, will face Paul O'Neill to start the 7th. O'Neill, as noted last time around, a .315 lifetime American League hitter in 600 games, a .259 lifetime National League hitter in 800 games.
Yeah, I think, Larry, there was a change in O'Neill's approach to how he went about his business when he went to the Yankees. I don't know who the hitting instructor was at the time, but obviously they changed O'Neill's approach. When he was with the Reds, pretty much of an inside half pull hitter, liked the ball in there, and that ball away, he would ground out to short a lot. When he went to the American League, became more of an average hitter because he started hitting the outside pitch the other way, and the home run numbers increased because of the fact that he got those pitches on the inside then that he liked to pull for the long ball. You see Chris Chambliss there, the Yankees hitting instructor. I don't know if he was there when O'Neill made that first switch over or not, but a different approach completely from Paul O'Neill in the way he goes about his business, and it's been very productive for him.
Absolutely. Working on a career-high RBI season. His first 100 RBI season of his career.
Yeah, when he kept trying to pull all the outside pitches, there was no reason to ever have to throw him into his power zone on the inside. Therefore, he didn't get many pitches to hit out of the ballpark. Now, all of a sudden, he lines it to left field. You have to respect that and pitch him inside on occasion. Then O'Neill can spin on that ball. The home run numbers, the RBI numbers, and the average numbers all going upward. He's just a better hitter.
You like seeing hitters get better while they're in the major leagues. That's a strike. It's a full count. So not a function of the difference in the way the leagues approach, more a function of the difference in the way O'Neill approaches.
Exactly.
Trying to build an inning has worked the count full. Fouled straight back.
O'Neill struck out the first 2 times looking on fastballs down and away. Schilling trying to go back to that spot again. Got Paul talking to himself.
Or maybe Gary Darling. Now look, if it's 6 inches outside this time, as he has indeed been called out looking. Lieberthal's out there once more.
It's a hat trick.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Paul O'Neill. Strikeout number 12 for Curt Schilling.
All 3 of them, you could put the replay of the 3 strikeouts together, and they would all look exactly like that. Knee high on the outside corner. O'Neill again back to the bench. No chance. Curt Schilling has hit O'Neill in a hole 3 times and made 3 perfect pitches right on the outside corner.
Chad Curtis. First pitch swinging, fouls to the crowd. What a difference a huge crowd makes. The atmosphere in here has been outstanding. And Schilling and the Phillies have responded on the biggest Labor Day crowd in the history of Veterans Stadium.
Yeah, and players will tell you, we're professionals, we go out there and do it, but that's nonsense. A big crowd definitely excites both ball clubs, not just the Phillies, both ball clubs. You just seem to be able to perform a notch higher when you have an excited big crowd in the ballpark.
0-2.
After all, Major League Baseball players are entertainers, and like any entertainer, when you've got a big audience and a big audience that's involved in what's going on, it gets you pumped up. You don't always admit it, but it's there.
Now the crowd's hungry for strikeouts. Up and away, 1-2. Schilling had one crisis where he had Martinez with runners at second and third, 2 out and a run in, and popped him up. Otherwise has been in complete control. to left field. That'll be in play down the line, and will two-hop the wall. McMillan runs it down. Curtis a stand-up one-out double. Not sure Curt would be happy with the location if he saw the replay.
He'll take a look at this pitch right here. It's a breaking ball that stays down, but in the middle of the plate as Curtis goes out and hooks it into the left field corner. McMillan with no chances. He was again shaded well over toward left center field. Ball was down, but just not quite as far out as Curt would have liked to have had it.
Joe Girardi has struck out and popped up. The Yankees are run on 5 hits. Phil's 5 runs, 10 hits. With 1 out, top 7. 2-0.
Another typical Curt Schilling afternoon. High strikeouts, low walks. In fact, as low as you can get. None. Behind the Girardi, 2 balls and no strikes.
Bronya dives. What a play. Needs help. Schilling's there. Got him. What a play. Rico Bronya, and a fine cover by Curt Schilling. 2 out.
I've seen Bronya make this play a lot this year as he dives just inside the line, catches the ball, carries it into foul territory. Curt right on time as he covers first base. Bronya not guarding the line against Girardi. Still able to make the play and give Schilling a perfect throw right at the bag.
Shaking it off, as that's the hand that found the turf.
That's a throwing hand as he skidded to a stop, put that hand out to slow himself down and try to get himself propped back up to make that throw.
Rico and I were talking last week. The Phillies have not missed a 3-1 all year. There has not been a bad 3-1, an error from Rico to the pitcher all year, as Curt will reach 100 with his next pitch. It will come to Ray Sanchez, who is 2 for 2 and has scored the Yankees' only run. Yankees have moved Charlie Hayes in the on-deck circle, as Graham Lloyd is due to bat next. Make that 0-2. Mendoza, Ramiro Mendoza, he is up. Should Sanchez reach base and allow Hayes to bat? 0-2 Sanchez. Came in on him, and he fouls it to the right field stands. Still 0-2.
Remember, both of Sanchez's base hits in this ballgame have come to right field. Curt starts him away with a couple breaking balls, catches the outside corner, and then tries to loosen up that outside a little bit with a fastball in. Should have Sanchez in a situation right now where he can work either in again hard with the fastball or go back away with the breaking ball or the splitter in the dirt. A lot of options for Curt Schilling right here.
With Curtis at third, Schill will work from the windup on the 0-2 as Levy goes away. Just missed 1-2. Showed it to him outside.
Situation you always want to be in as a pitcher is you'll have more than one pitch that you can throw. Right here, Curt wanting to make the pitch on the outside corner, just missed.
And they're back out there again. That is a strike 3. Tag him out. Strikeout number 13 for Curt Schilling. Curtis is left at third base. Stretch time with the ball fly. Phil is in control.
Here's the 2-2. He struck him out. Hits it hard to right field. It is gone. He's got him. Yes, he does. Ground ball, fair ball, right field side. He wants it away. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Ground ball. Great play. Stocker. Can he get him? He got him. He goes. Swing and a miss. Strike him out. Throw him out. Phil's win. Hits the deep right field. It's gone.
The staff and the management here at the Philadelphia Zoo are making the switch to Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
It makes us feel valued to know that they've given us a better plan.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to be the greatest thing that we ever had. It's just really going to work out well, not only for me personally, but for my membership.
Go all blue with Keystone Health Plan East, personal choice, or our traditional coverage from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
This is Dick Vermeil with an important message. Personal choice, the flexible, high-quality, and affordable health coverage is available in Pennsylvania. Only from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The folks you can lean on.
Bottom 7, Phil's lead 5-1 as Mickey Morandini stands in against Graham Lloyd. Mickey's got a couple of base hits and has scored a run. The average back even at 300. Two and 0. Graham Lloyd in his last inning of work, due to lead off to start the 8th. Yankees' third pitcher on the afternoon. Mickey takes the 2-0, strike one call. Up the middle and through. A 3-hit afternoon for Mickey Morandini. Mickey Morandini played his first baseball game on this date in 1990.
One of those players called up during that September call-up when the rosters were expanded way back in 1990. Little did Philly fans know what they were going to have in Mickey Morandini at that point, but they have now got one of the premier second basemen in the game of baseball, offensively and defensively.
And the senior member of the firm since Darren Dalton moved to Florida. I believe he's the athlete with the most continuous service of any team in Philadelphia. Scott Rowland singled and scored in the first. To right field slicing. It will be fouled to the seats. Scott has the average back up to 295. Inside. Morandini with 3 hits and a run scored. Good lead at first. Off speed in the dirt. Scotty just checks the feet back out of the way as Girardi slides left to make the play. 2-1. The Lloyd curveball hits the gun somewhere between 66 and 72 miles an hour. So I guess you have time to adjust if you see it. To right field. O'Neill breaks back but has time. 1 out. That'll bring up Rico Brogna. Rico yet to join the fun this afternoon, at least offensively. A brilliant play with the glove last inning. A check over move. The fanatic on the dugout getting the crowd going with the belly shake. That's high a ball. Bronya struggled this year against left-handed pitching, batting .186. Strike call. Well, the bullpen certainly settled things down. Irabu went 3+ innings. Since then, Barringer and Lloyd have kept the score at 5. Step-off move. Morandini is back. Softly to the right side. They'll get one there. No return throw, out number 2. Not a double play ground ball. Fielder's choice 4-6.
Sanchez has time to go to second base to Jeter for the force out on Morandini. No chance to get the relay at first. And Mickey slowed down a little bit as he had to let the ball go through before he took off for second base. So the fact that Morandini had to slow down just a little bit gave Sanchez time to get the force at second as opposed to taking the out at first on Bronya. So Phillies just switched runners. Rico over at first now.
Wow. Rico Bronya does not have great speed, but he has great timing, Teague.
Well, that was a running start right there. Graham Lloyd just not paying any attention at all to Bronya over at first base as he had a running three-step jump. You see, Lloyd never even turns his head toward first base. Big left-hander with the big leg kick. Plenty of time for Bronya to go, and they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Mike Lieberthal now that Bronya has stolen second base.
Bronya has 9 steals in 10 attempts in '97. Coming into the season, he had 1 career stolen base.
I think the stolen base right here is going to take the bat out of the hand of Mike Lieberthal as Joe Torre is going to walk the right-handed hitting Lieberthal and allow Lloyd to pitch to the left-handed hitting Billy McMillan. And Terry Francona trying to set a little precedent here during this ball game too. Hey, you may be the defending world champions, but we're going to run when we get an opportunity. I mean, we've seen Lieberthal already running, Bronya running. Guys you don't normally see take a whole lot of chances on the bases.
McMillan 0 for 3. With Bronya at second, Lieberthal at first. 2 out, bottom 7. Phil's lead 5-1. Well outside. Two and 1.
She checked the Yankee outfield arms. Chad Curtis with just an average arm and left. Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill both with strong throwing arms in center and right.
2 outs. Bronya should get a good start. Caught by Sanchez. Line drive McMillan. Phillies threatened but come away empty through 7 full. Phil's lead 5-1.
It's Ford's factory authorized clearance, and the truck you want is priced to move.
Hey, if you're going to get a truck, you might as well get the best, right?
The Ford F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. Now clearance priced, only $234 a month for 24 months.
It's tough, powerful. It's got more standard power than any truck out there.
Just $234 a month on the #1 selling F-150 during Ford's factory authorized clearance at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
You're the one that I want.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
In this great world, I go just where I please. Don't let nothing bring this boy to his knees. I gotta roll.
When you buy tires from Sears, if you find a lower price, we'll give you double the difference back.
And I say, roll like thunder, roll like a wheel, it's time to roll.
Sears Auto Center. We keep you rolling.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. By your Quality Plus Ford dealer in the all-new F-150. By Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, I love what you do for me. With Ken DeColby, I'm Larry Rosen. Thanks for being with us on Phillies Baseball on Sports Channel. The Fanatic back from a triumphant tour of Detroit, Michigan, providing the between-inning entertainment. And a youngster getting a chance to pinch hit here, Teak.
Take a look here as Curt Schilling here in the top of the 8th inning is going to face a pinch hitter, Scott Posey. It's 104 pitches through the first 7, 13 strikeouts. Posey, Jeter, and Boggs for the Yankees here in the top of the 8th.
Strike one called. Posey is a September 1st call-up. Had been on the roster earlier in the season when Williams was disabled. Swing and a miss. Posey's the guy that's been the make room guy. When Dwight Gooden came off the disabled list, Posey went down. When Mike Stanley came off the disabled list, Posey went down. There's always the guy in that spot. Hit .333 at Columbus. Fouled straight back.
Posey, an outfielder by trade in the Yankee farm system.
Just missed. Graham Lloyd, 2 solid innings out of the Yankees bullpen. Here's the 1-2. High, 2-2. Of course, Curt Schilling averages more pitches per start than any other pitcher in the National League. Right around 117. Approaching 110 at the moment. His fastball still at 95 miles an hour. Got him looking.
And still knee-high on the outside corner to those left-handed hitters.
Strikeout number 14 for Curt Schilling.
Scott Posey goes the same way Paul O'Neill has gone 3 times this afternoon. Down looking on that fastball, down and away. Remember back early in this ballgame, Curt Schilling just a little over 50 pitches through the first 5 innings. He's thrown more pitches now in the last couple, but still the location outstanding.
The second highest strikeout total of Curt's career. Jeter shows bunt, takes a strike. Not a bad idea. Jeter has struck out all 3 times. So getting it in play would be an accomplishment. Curt struck out 15 Pirates in a loss back in July. Strike called. Dropped down a little bit.
And there's that inside part of the plate we talked about the last time with Jeter. So conscious now of protecting the outside that the inside has opened the door wide open. Actually, a pitcher got away from Schill, stayed back on the inside part of the plate because Jeter was so conscious outside, took it.
He's got him 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 15. And the crowd rises as Schilling blows him away.
Curt Schilling gets Derek Jeter for the 4th time this afternoon. Number 15 all day, ties his career high. He went down and away. He's been down and in. Well, let's try up. It's Jeter swinging.
Curt Schilling had never struck out more than 12 in a game before this year started. Has struck out 12 or more a half dozen times. Now with 14, one off the career high of 15. Wade Boggs has an RBI base hit, the lone Yankee run. Line drive, base hit, left field for Wade Boggs. Take a veteran hitter like Boggs has seen the stuff Schilling has and apparently has said, I'm just going to try to take it the other way where it's pitched if I can.
Well, there's not much you can do with the way Schilling is throwing, so Boggs, being the veteran hitter that he is, just keeps the head down. Look how low he keeps that head as he hits through that ball. Staring right down at the barrel of his bat as he lines it into left field. And he knows with the way Schilling's throwing right now and his ball club down by 4 runs, they better get a couple guys on before the middle of the lineup comes up. This is really their last shot at Curt Schilling with the Bombers in the middle of the lineup. And they're going to need to do it in a hurry as Schilling has 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
Bernie Williams has one of the hits. That bloop double down the left field line. McMillan playing a little bit more toward the left field line. Still a very big gap now in left center field. As you see how deep Cummings is playing.
I think the move by McMillan to more straightaway left field is a result of that bloop double by Bernie Williams the last time around when they hit that ball into no man's land down in the left field corner.
And with Martinez on deck, Schilling would love to get Williams here. Off speed, lashed up the middle for a base hit. Boggs will stop at second. And for the second time in the ball game, Tino Martinez will bat with 2 on and 2 out and a chance to get his club close.
Take a look right here. It's a breaking ball by Schilling as Williams lines it sharply into center field. As you mentioned, the optimal word you just mentioned is close. Tino Martinez out of the position to represent the tying run in this ball game with his 41 home runs this year because Schilling was able to retire Posey and Jeter to get the inning started. So it took Martinez out of a position where even though Boggs and Williams get their base hits, he is not the tying run. He has to get on and try to set the table for Paul O'Neill, who has gone down 3 times.
So should Martinez look to build an inning or should he look to try to get his club within 1 as Bo gets on?
I think if you're Tino Martinez, you're going to take what Curt Schilling gives you. If you get a pitch, you got a chance to drive, you're going to try to drive it. But you know, the further he falls behind in the count, and that's one thing Schilling has done well with Martinez all afternoon, is he's pitched ahead, even in those clutch situations. He's ahead again here with no balls and 1 strike.
That's high. The hitter that's on deck, Paul O'Neill, has struck out looking 3 at-bats today. Martinez has been a good late-game hitter, hitting .302 overall. It's 1-1. Good pitch. The Phillies' middle infielders, especially Mickey Morandini, and now Stockler as well with 2 strikes, are playing as deep as you can imagine. Several steps behind the line.
Yeah, in fact, the only infielder inside the line right now is Scott Rowland, the third baseman. Even Bronya at first is playing in the outfield. So technically, the Phillies playing just 1 infielder at this point in time and 6 outfielders against Tino Martinez.
It's 1-2 on Martinez. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. New career high, Curt Schilling. And a standing ovation to close the 8th. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. General Schilling digs down 1 more time.
Do you need your home or office cleaned? Then call Swift Brothers. They do it all. Carpet and upholstery cleaning, wall and window washing, floor waxing, and they specialize in fire and water damage restoration. Call Swift Brothers now for your home or office cleaning needs.
Having electrical problems? Call Gambino Electrical Contractors anytime, day or night, 7 days a week. Call now and receive a free home electrical inspection with any scheduled job over $200. Call now 610-277-6954 or 215-563-5466.
Put Cross the river!
All aboard for Rails to the River, brought to you by Northbrook Canoe. Imagine the perfect excursion. You board the Brandywine Scenic Railroad for a 30-minute train ride through the Chester County countryside while you enjoy a continental breakfast. Then it's into your canoe for a leisurely trip back to Northbrook. Rails to the River departs Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9:30. For reservations or directions, call 793-2279.
Today.
If I didn't have to be down here in the bullpen, I'd be up there at Bleacher Beach.
Schilling digs down one more time for a career high, Teague.
Yeah, number 16, and again, the high heater this time. We've seen a lot of this down and away. So the left-handers, Curt, even late in the ball game, in the 8th inning, goes to that high hard one, 98 mile an hour, throws it right by Tino Martinez, one of the best power hitters in the game.
That is strikeout number 280 on the season. And it looks as if he will likely go back out, but Talico was up and throwing hard, though, as you look down. That generally means Ricky's likely to get a call. 123 pitches for Schilling. Ramiro Mendoza, hard-throwing youngster, comes in as the 4th Yankee hurler. The inning facing Tony Barron. Barron homered in the 4th. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Sidearm inside corner. Mendoza has been between the bullpen and the rotation. Off speed. And for the long run in his career, will likely wind up being a starting pitcher if the opportunity presents itself. Swing and a miss. Throws both the curve and the slider to go with fastball and change. Swing and a miss. Ramiro Mendoza. One out, bottom of the 8th. Bills have led throughout since a 2-run, 2-out single by Mike Lieberthal in the 1st. Kevin Stocker, part of a 3-run 4th, has 2 hits on the day. Mendoza very fluid. Nice compact motion. Looks like he was born to pitch.
It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of effort to what the Mendoza does out on the mound, as he just kind of slowly turns into that windup. Nice loose arm. Good sinking action on that fastball. He keeps it down in the strike zone.
He kind of looks like he's got a starter's mechanics, if you will, you know.
He just got a little pace to what he does. You know, not in any kind of a hurry to make anything happen, but when the arm comes forward, it does, and it gets it there quick.
O'Neill read it well, 2 outs. And Curt Schilling will not bat. Mike Robertson will, thus the booze. The homestand continues tomorrow at 7:05 against the Yankees, and Wednesday as well. Final interleague ball games of the season. It's Kenny Rogers against Mike Grace, and then Dwight Gooden against Tyler Green. And 16, the new number hung up on the board by Curt Schilling, whose day is done.
Yeah, what a day it was. 8 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, as you mentioned, 16 strikeouts. Once again, did not walk a batter. Just 1 run. It was a very powerful New York Yankee lineup. There you see the 16. They had
for crayon.
They had to go get a couple extra ones. They weren't planning on that many.
Robertson 4 for 14. Will go 3 unassisted to close the 8th. And the Philly fans have found something to boo about on this incredible day. The end of the day for Curt Schilling. Bills will go to the bullpen for the 9th inning.
why the RAV4 are top ranking.
The RAV4 breaks expected molds.
The RAV4 rides a great deal better than many a sedan.
Handling in both RAV4 models is excellent.
The all-new RAV4 recreational activity vehicle starts at only $15,118. Maybe we should start calling it the Rave 4.
Driving it is great fun.
Where you're going, you need more than you can get from just any bank. You need Mellon. At Mellon, we offer a full range of loans designed to help you get from here to there and everywhere in between. Right now, you can get great low rates on our home equity loans. So stop by any of our offices or call us at 1-800-MELLON-24. Mellon, it's where you're going.
I want boom, dot, boom, doom. Why do you want to look at my Discover card statement? It's mine. I live in New York City. Of course, I love the theater. Bring in the noise. You know, it's my favorite show. I go there as often as I can, trying to steal another step. And my kids want me to be more risky. Come to Garçon stuff is, you know, it's risky. I want a cashback bonus.
How many credit cards make a statement like that? It pays to Discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Here's your Toyota Interleague scoreboard. Cleveland leads Pittsburgh 7-5 in the 8th. Kansas City has just taken a lead on Cincinnati 4-3 in the 8th. Olerud and Husky home runs. Mets lead Toronto 3-0 in the 6th. David Seguia home run. Boston on top of Montreal 2-1 in the 7th. St. Louis leads Chicago 2-0 inning number 5. Houston 1-0 on Milwaukee. They're in the 4th. Minnesota 3, Chicago 2. There are 6 games later on tonight. Our ball game has gone to the 9th inning, with the Phillies on top 5-1. Curt Schilling, his day is over, turning it over to Ricky Bottalico. Defensive replacement Ruben Amaro comes in to play right field for Tony Barrett. And Ricky Bottalico making appearance number 58. Bottalico in a non-save situation, up by 4, will face O'Neill, Curtis, and Girardi to try to slam the door on the world champions. Strike call.
Let's go. That ain't been a strike.
Bottalico going right back to that spot where Schilling had so much success, away from O'Neill.
Game ain't over yet.
1-1.
You know, it's interesting, Larry. A couple starts ago for Curt Schilling, when he got rained out against the San Francisco Giants, that game they were going to make up on September 11th, pushed him back 2 days. He was not originally going to pitch on his normal rotation. He was going to miss this Yankee series.
Right.
When he found out that, you know, he was going to be backed up a couple days, was disappointed there, but then all of a sudden looked at it and said, hey, wait a second, I'm going to get a chance to pitch against the New York Yankees on Labor Day Monday, a day game at the Vet. Started looking forward to that ball game, and boy, did he come up with a performance this afternoon.
2-2.
Came up with a new career high in strikeouts against the defending world champions, and really a game that he was in complete control of from pitch 1 all the way through the 8th inning. Now, there are guys that like to accept the challenge, and there are guys that like to back away from challenge. Obviously, Curt Schilling has always been one of those guys that likes the challenge and likes to pitch the big game against the big team. This, you know, for the Phillies in the standings isn't a big game, but it's a chance to pitch against the defending world champions and show the American League, and probably the biggest television market in the world, what you're all about. You know, they read about Curt Schilling all the time and they see the numbers, but a chance to do it, and he did it extremely well.
His 16 strikeout performance, the most by a National League hurler in 1997. Bottalico's got O'Neill 2-2 coming in on him to left field and shallow. 1 out. Today's crowd here at Veterans Stadium, 50,869, the largest crowd ever on Labor Day. Largest crowd ever to see a Yankees team appear in the state of Pennsylvania, and the biggest crowd of the year. And those that came as Phillies fans have certainly had a ton to cheer about.
Yeah, they got to see the performance of the year by Curt Schilling.
Chad Curtis check swing. Ball one. Vitalico kicks and deals to right center field. Amaro on his horse at the track, looks up, 2 out. Schilling stood to watch where that was going and said, I knew he had it all the way. It looks as if Joe Girardi's been called back, and Charlie Hayes will get a swing as a pinch hitter. Hayes batting at .262. Has only been called on to pinch hit 4 times this year. Has 1 hit.
That hit a big one, a grand slam home run, 4 RBIs for Charlie.
First pitch, Hacken. As Curt Schilling's team is 1 out away from winning Game 1 of this series against the Yankees. Swing and a miss. Charlie Hayes came to Philadelphia in 1989 and stayed through the 91 season. Then came back in 95. The crowd rises. Check swing, 1 and 2. Curt Schilling now 1 strike away from win number 14. Stalker to his left, dives, comes up with it, throws, got him! What a play, Kevin Stalker, and one away to seal the deal. Curt Schilling, a career high, 16 strikeouts. Ricky Vitalico, a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and it smiles all around for the men in peppermint pinstripes. Phillies win it 5-1. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. History made at the vet. We'll come back and wrap.
Rails to the river. A morning country train ride upstream. Then canoe down the Brandywine River. Northbrook Canoe presents Rails to the River. Rails to the River departs Saturday and Sunday mornings at 9:30. For reservations or directions, call Northbrook Canoe at 793-2279.
Do you need your home or office cleaned? Then call Swift Brothers. They do it all. Carpet and upholstery cleaning, wall and window washing, floor waxing, and they specialize in fire and water damage restoration. Call Swift Brothers now for your home or office cleaning needs.
Having electrical problems? Call Gambino Electrical Contractors anytime, day or night, 7 days a week. Call now and receive a free home electrical inspection with any scheduled job over $200. Call now 610-277-6954 or 215-563-5466.
Right field, it's gone!
Hey, what's our good buddy Don? He thinks he can meet that girl. What's the bet?
Hey, Brick Boy, go dust yourself off. Hi, Cupcake. What do you say I buy you a Bud Light and you appreciate it?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Nicely done. Fun to watch.
Make it a Bud Light.
Sears salutes the end of summer at the big weekend sale. All tires are on sale, just in time for fall. Terrific brands like Michelin and Goodyear. Through September 3rd only at Sears Auto Centers. The big weekend sale. Summer's not over till you save big.
I teach first grade.
I teach in high school classes.
As soon as school gets out, we pack up our camper and we start out traveling. We get Scotty's schedule and we decide where we're going to go. We're all loaded up with groceries and clothes and the dog. And
We'd much rather be out in the woods than we would downtown somewhere.
we love to follow them. We like to see the different ballparks. Other guys might think, well, gee, his parents are camping instead of in motels like ours. But to Scotty, he's used to that. He'd be surprised if we didn't.
Phillies win it 5-1. One of the most overpowering pitching performances ever by a Philadelphia Phillies pitcher. And it comes on this historic afternoon. Nearly 51,000 on board to watch Curt Schilling and the Philadelphia Phillies defeat the world champion New York Yankees by the count of 5-1. And Curt Schilling, in his final inning of work in the 8th inning, looked just as strong as he did in the first, painting the outside corner against young Scott Posey. And Derek Jeter, Fantino Martinez to close the deal in the 8th inning on high heat. Curt Schilling gracious enough to join us down by the Phillies dugout. Schill, when he had the last strikeout, you actually pumped a fist. A little bit of a show of emotion on that 97-mile-an-hour heater right there. Thanks for coming out, Curt. How good did it feel?
Real good, real good. What a day. It's been a long year, but to get out here in front of a crowd like this and for us to play the way we played today, hopefully some of these young guys got a little taste.
You were mostly a fastball pitcher in the early going and had that outside corner and had the Yankees kind of talking themselves. Game plan?
Tremendous pregame preparation, a pregame plan by Vuk and Galen. We had these guys scouted out pretty well, and I just went with what Vuk told me to go with. And when I was kind of unsure myself, Levy went to the right pitch, and we had good stuff today. We made some great defensive plays that might open the door for a situation for them to get back in the ball game. And you know, we got ahead early, and we did the fundamental things we had to do for 9 innings.
Curt, let's take a look at one of your strikeouts right here. You get Derek Jeter finally get him to swing at that the fastball, up in the strike zone. A couple starts ago, when you got rained out against the Giants and got pushed back to pitch against the Los Angeles Dodgers, all of a sudden you realized that originally you were going to miss this series, and then you knew that on 5 days your turn was going to come up on Memorial Day Monday. How excited were you about a chance to pitch against the world champions, especially on a holiday weekend like this?
Well, I was looking forward to it, and I say that with the utmost respect. I didn't, the Yankees are a great ball club, and it's not that I wanted to pitch against them, but you want these kind of matchups. These are the kind of games where you can prove something to yourself and to your teammates, and we went out today, and like I said, it was a big crowd. It was energetic, and every game they're playing is for the postseason. And so they brought their A game, and we're starting to bring our A game to the park more and more every day with big hits. Mickey and Scott both had big hits today, and we just played great defense, and we did the little things you had to do.
Ray Sanchez, who got a couple of base hits on you, then you faced him in the 7th. Sanchez, a player you've seen before. That's when he went away with that perfect pitch with 2 strikes.
Well, he's a guy that hit me pretty well when he was over here in the National League, and I've always liked him as a hitter. I've always thought that he could put the bat on the ball. I thought he played a great second base, and I thought he was going to be with the Cubs. I was happy to see him go to the American League, actually, but we went with a split late in the count, and that was Levy's call and the right call, and it was a pitch that I hadn't shown him much of during the day, and we got ahead and we used it.
Well, back in 1965, Chris Short had 18. Art Mahaffey had 17 in 61. You joined Steve Carlton as the only 16 strikeout pitcher in a game, now 280 on the year. Can you put that in some kind of perspective of what it's like for a pitcher to have those kind of numbers?
No, I can't. I wanted to argue to go back out there in the 9th inning, but these last couple starts I've been a little fatigued, and I've had to do some things late in ball games physically, try to do a little bit more than I probably need to be doing. Or should be doing, and I'd hate to go out in the 9th inning of a game to try and get a record and get hurt in a 5-1 ball game. Plus, Ricky's getting back on track, and he needs the innings and the work, and he went out tonight and threw the ball great, and that's the guy I expect to see every night out there, and he's, I'm looking forward to watching him finish off this year and finish strong.
Well said. Curt Schilling now a 14-game winner, 16 strikeouts, no walks. Watching that final out of the brilliant play by Kevin Stocker, celebrating win number 14 in the first ever against the New York Yankees in interleague play. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. With thanks to Curt Schilling for joining us on Star of the Game, we'll come back and wrap it up from the vet.
Hey, Mom.
You've known it your whole life.
Scoring points is easy.
Hey, Debbie.
If you've got the right card. Take the Comcast Rewards Visa card. It gets you points towards cool stuff, like tickets, local restaurants, even free Comcast cable service. So get a Comcast Rewards Visa and score points with just about everybody.
Hey, Mr. Linetti.
Mr. Linetti.
Pay-per-view is your choice for top Hollywood entertainment. With pay-per-view, the hits come right into your home, hassle-free, instantly. It's the easy way to treat friends and family to first-run fun. And everyone watches for one low price, making pay-per-view one of the best entertainment values around. Just pick the showing you want to see and follow the simple pay-per-view ordering instructions. Before you know it, you'll be enjoying the movie of your choice right in your home. Big hits, small price. There's nothing to it when you pay-per-view it.
Play never ends.
Lots and lots, tons and tons of tennis balls. Some of the things that are on my Discover card statement, I travel quite a bit. Ooh, I didn't know that the golf balls around here. Just relax, enjoy nature, and very good. Labidochromis, Caeruleus. They don't want to play with me now because I beat them 90% of the time. I'll take out $100 to buy the bait, gas up the boat.
How many credit cards make a statement like that?
See, what else do I have on this?
It pays to discover. Use it where you see the Nova sign.
Phillies baseball has been brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, it's where you're going. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, the health insurance companies you can lean on.
Let's take a look right now at our Budweiser play of the game. How can you pick one in the masterpiece that Curt Schilling had? So we just took one of his strikeouts against Paul O'Neill here in the 7th inning for the 3rd time on the afternoon. 3rd time looking, 3rd time in the same spot. Curt Schilling, not only with outstanding stuff, but boy, did he have control of where he was putting the baseball this afternoon.
16 strikeouts, a career high, the 3rd most ever by a Phillies pitcher, and no walks when 8 innings through over 120 pitches. A couple of hours ago, the matchup Schilling Irabu, but Irabu did not hold up his end of the bargain. Went 3+ innings, yielding 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned, a couple of walks, and 5 strikeouts. Mike Lieberthal had a 2-run single in that 1st inning with 2 outs to kickstart the Phillies offense. Tony Barron, a home run, and the biggest crowd ever to see Phillies baseball on Labor Day. 50,869, treated to a masterpiece by Curt Schilling, who's now 14-10 with 280 strikeouts on this extraordinary season. A lot of daytime interleague baseball, some with pennant implications. Let's check out Cleveland visiting Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 2.5 games back of Houston with Steve Cook on the mound, looking for win number 10, facing Sandy Alomar. Made a mistake, belt high out over the plate, and Alomar drills a 3-run home run, his 17th, to give Cleveland a 4-0 lead. Bottom of the 2nd, Chad Oggia, the strikeout on the backdoor breaking ball of Abraham Nunez, catches him looking. Top 3 runners, 1st and 2nd. Marquise Grissom the other way in a good spot, finds some empty space. Justice scores, a run scores behind him, made it a 6-2 Cleveland lead. Then Manny Ramirez meets this fastball, a home run. Cleveland a 7-4 lead. As we check out the scoreboard, Cleveland still in 1st place by 3.5 over Milwaukee with a 7-5 lead. That ball game has gone to the 9th. Kansas City 5-3 over Cincinnati. That ball game also in the 9th. Husky and Olerud home runs for New York. They lead Toronto 3-0. That game in the 7th inning at Shea. Boston 2-1 over Montreal in the 8th. Chicago 3, St. Louis 2. That's the White Sox in the 6th. Milwaukee and Houston in a big game for Houston. 1-1 in the 4th. Minnesota a 3-2 lead over the Cubs in the 5th inning. And there are a half dozen other ball games tonight in interleague play. Hideki Irabu with a tip of the cap for the Phillies fans, as his ball game lasted just 3 and 3+ innings, gave up 5 runs. Meanwhile, Curt Schilling, well, the general was in command all day. Smelled the smoke, saw the powder, and put away the New York Yankees with 16 strikeouts to set a new career high. No walks. Schill and Metallico combined to win it for the Phillies. Our next telecast on Sports Channel comes from Shea Stadium, September the 10th at 7:30. Ken Jacoby and I will have the play-by-play and color commentary. And we'll be back at you on Prism Television as this series between the Phillies and the New York Yankees continues tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Chris Wheeler and Ken Jacoby with play-by-play. I'll have the first pitch pregame report at 6:30. On a night never to be forgotten by Curt Schilling and the Philadelphia Phillies, Phils win it 5-1. For Teak, I'm Larry. See you tomorrow, and good afternoon, everybody.
Before